Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. It is November 17th, 2025, and you are having the week of NVIDIA earnings. So besides that, there's going to be the staples. That's going to be the big talk. You got a couple of events like the Air Show. You got to hear about Google, Buffett. Even they're saying Apple and Tim Cook may step down. But here's the deal. Are we going to stabilize or not from last week? That was the real big deal. Again, Friday was pretty bad to start, and then it ended up closing green, but crypto did not have a good weekend. I mean, a lot of people, we were talking about it last week with the whole bonds. Pretty much you would have made more money, or you would have done materially better investing in bonds than crypto, and that's thus far. So we'll see if that ends up holding. But the idea here is, are we going through the repricing, or was this just another one of those pullbacks and then we go into the end of the year and Santa rally? But Chad, excuse me, I hope you're locked and loaded. I hope you're awake on a Monday. Otherwise, go back to bed, because it's gonna be a good day. I don't know if they feel me. But before we start any good day, before we chase a dollar, before we try to enrich ourselves, my friends, we must pay homage to a very special group of people that has made this sacrifice that most of us never have and ever will. And I'm talking about the veterans of the United States of America. So on behalf of the cult, man, I want to give a huge special shout out, active service, past service, anybody who has served this country. I don't know how often you hear this, man, but thank you for helping and fighting and giving up so much of your lives for our freedom, our collective freedom. And I don't know if everybody contributed to it, but I do know there is a group that did. So God bless every single one of you, and thank you to your families as well. And for real, man, I hope we can make a change. You know, we've advocated for a lot of stuff. I also hope we can make some noise, man. All you who haven't served, bro, come on, baby. But at the end of the day, man, just you guys, if anybody should be owning the land, the stocks, it should be you. You are already trained. Your discipline carries over, man. Stay away from the scoundrels, and you're gonna have a good time. But at the very least, man, want to give y'all a big shout out and hope we can offer you any sort of value we can. But, you know, thank you, and God bless America and freedom. And I hope everybody could appreciate that and understand the value, because that goes hand in hand with finances, baby. Other than that, big shout out to everybody else out there giving back to their local communities: doctors, nurses, teachers, firefighters, police officers, the janitors, the coaches, the garbage men, everybody making their community run, baby. God bless you and thank you. But ladies and gentlemen, please rise up. Place your right hand over your heart. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, baby. Senator Jones! Oh, it's game time, baby. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Santa. Oh, he's coming to town. Oh, good morning. God bless America. Oh, are you guys ready? Are you ready? Again, you weren't even doing that bad like 30 minutes ago. Now you're down by 0.3, so you were actually holding up, man. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Mondays are usually good. Mondays this year have been a great time. So we will see, Chattadonia. But yeah, we got 2.5 minutes. I already went pee. I think I have enough liquidity. Is that a different liquidity? But still. But other than that, Chad, I do have a couple of plays. I'm going to be watching Google. Again, we'll see how it plays out. If anything, I mean, Google is kind of what's holding you up. Remember, NVIDIA earnings, you did have Peter Thiel sell out his stake this morning. It wasn't as big as some of the other ones. It was only a couple of $100 million, but it wasn't anywhere in the billions like some of the others. But keep an eye out, too. Boeing, SPR, any of the airline stocks, or at least aircraft makers. You do have the air show going on. And then Walmart, Target, HD, Lowe's, Ross. Those are going to be your retail earnings. And then all the lithium stocks. I don't know what's going on with lithium, actually. But every single lithium stock is killing it today. And then one of them, SGML, they are up by 50%. All right, well, there's NVIDIA. So we'll see. It's going to be a battle of NVIDIA and Google to start off. And then we'll see where they hold. And then we'll see how everybody feels after last week's little freak out. Was it like 2 weeks? Let's see. Where's homeboy? There it is. All right, I'll get a water just in case. Jesus.
It's all gonna cook out. Safe coffee.
Praise God. Amen, amen. It's a call, baby. Hey. Yeah. If we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you've been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear, no fear. Oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Nah, it's done. Daddy said it's finished. Made me in his image, but that always made me timid. Wonder why we different, don't you ever get it twisted. It's the only way we get it, set apart from the start. And the heart isn't ours. It's a hippie with the love, but it's David with the sword. I want peace, so that means you gon' kill me if it's war. Nietzsche, Trotsky, can't beach on the ark. Want it easy or hard, want a genie or a god. Then believe me, lil' bro, you a child, you a son of the highest in the bud. Don't deny it, we don't like it when they tell us who we are. I can tell you who I was, I can tell you who he is. I can make another song that's telling y'all about the crib. But for a second, keep it real, it's not the reason they will kill. It's the freedom in believing they want death to bring the will. But I'd rather have it now, and I ain't never backing down. I ain't gonna eat me or turn his ass around. Either way, I will remain up in his name and say it proud. Here, let's say it now. Jesus. I put Jesus on the beat so I can listen to it. I got reason to believe that we living in it. You can say it's one hell of a decision in it. Hey, if we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there. All right, man. We'll see too. Again, watch out for the value stocks. Watch out for healthcare if we see any of that little rotation that we saw last week. Round one, fight. All right. What was that with Ford? They had something there in the morning. And then, oh yeah, I forgot about GLD, dog. Down another 0.4. We still got a couple of those. Again, Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin stabilized a little bit in the morning, so it all really depends how you end up. Again, you were not bad here about 30 minutes ago, but you're opening down about 0.3, 0.4. Nasdaq's down 0.49. So we'll see where it takes us. HP, they got downgrades. I think Morgan Stanley downgraded pretty much like 3 or 4 of those little chip companies. So we'll see how it plays out. Let's see where the premiums are at. If we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. Did they go up? Intel, let me check those. I feel like we haven't heard a lot from Intel, except for that one guy leaving. Wait, what? Oh, did I get the wrong ones last time? They're not showing up. All right. Albemarle's still up again? Damn. I took some of those on Friday. I still have some more. And then the golds too. The golds are actually holding up as well. What the hell happened here? Yeah. Gold is not bad. Talking plays. Yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. What about the NVIDIA earnings? I remember those earnings plays. Those are the only ones that I ended up keeping. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm in a coat. Yeah, none of them have moved up, but the spreads are very wide. Okay, let me go to the staples. They're coming down a little bit. Again, Walmart, HD, Target, Ross. Those are going to be your things. First Solar. And then Google. So again, people really like the news. I think the other part of it is Gemini. Oh, I forgot. Netflix. Did it actually split? Ah! Oh, dude. That's crazy. Let's see now. Do we have our 10 shares? I don't know if it loaded up, but that's actually nuts. Where's our boy? I'll organize it by quantity. Yeah, dude. Oh, how does it feel, Chad? Wow, you have 10 shares of Netflix now for every one. Uh-huh. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, take a look then. You might be onto something, Tyree. I'm gonna double check right now, but yeah, you might have your little moment there. Oof. That one's gonna be interesting. It's all gonna depend if we get that momentum, but yeah. First day post split, all these options are kind of wacky. That's amazing, dude. I can't believe it. I knew it was coming, but still. It's just, and remember, all you got to do is avoid chop sitting. So it's good for now, good to get the stabilization, but remember, we are not out of the clear until we hit Canagra on the high, but we're not out of the clear until we hit a new high. I mean, this even is an interesting level, I think below like 6,700. That's where the momentum gets a little clobbered. So we will find out. Micron's still doing well. I guess not all of them did bad. HP and Dell were the ones kind of sucky. Yeah, they're going up. Let's see, healthcare. CNC still doing great. Again, healthcare had the biggest inflow since 2021. I remember CoreWeave, we had a couple of those on Friday. And then NVIDIA's down too. It was down a little bit more. It's again, this little battle, Google, NVIDIA, that's what's going to create most of the market moves here, it looks like. And then Apple's even down there. No shit. And Microsoft's about to go green. You guys said Meta was green in the morning. They're not down too much. Amazon's doing a bond sale as well. And then Oracle. I'm not going to forget about it this time. And then JD China. Not all the China names are doing too hot. Nah. Hey. Long term. ARM. Yeah, ARM is doing great. Again, these are all going to be sympathies to NVIDIA. So you just got to balance, man. It's going to be a mix of retail, and it's going to be a mix of pretty much NVIDIA. But NVIDIA will be the set-all, be-all. We'll just see how everybody gets hyped on it or not. That, I think, will be your kicker. All right. I haven't taken anything yet off the more. I don't like it as much. Again, biotechs and healthcare, I mean, that's always going to be there, it seems like. So, yeah, even UNH waking up. Oh, where's your boy Lily? Lily, can't you see? Sometimes your health insurance scams just hypnotize me. I just love your government investigation. This is how you know that they just hating. Or that they're Satan. What? All right. Can we hit those or no? Those video. Oh, I forgot. Remember, skew is not climbed up yet. Ay. I'm a little nervous. I want to grab one, but I want to grab some out of the monies, but I'm not really like feeling it as much. Cause yeah, what if we get clapped? All right, I got a couple. I have two options for one. I'll give you guys a range. Because I want to go, pretty much I found a good out of the money, but I'm going to go look for closer to the money. It give you, just in case. There's very, very scam. Very, very, very scam. They run it? All right. The ER, I mean, remember the black swan, the Grim Reaper, he's been lurking. That's something we've been talking about here from the beginning of the earnings season. So, well, I definitely think this retail earnings, it's going to get a lot of attention. But yeah, it could always happen. And then the other part is just the K-shaped economy. That's pretty much what everybody's been going over here. That's what we talked about a lot last week. You're getting one side of the economy, AI, doing very, very well, and then the other side's not good at all. So that's pretty much what this is going to show. I mean, I think both sides of the K-shape are going to show up, right? You're going to get NVIDIA earnings, and then you're going to get to see on retail and all of that. Yeah, Vita Coco, they gave an update. They were pumping up some of the what's it called? They were pumping up the tariff stuff, and Swiss too. I mean, they were saying Swiss economy wasn't doing bad, and then they said that it ticked up there after the tariff deal, and now UBS wants to move to America. DLR, that has to be the spread. Oh, there's R, yeah. It was the Qs. So yeah, the volatility plays are actually a lot cheaper. So that's good. It didn't hold up as much. So I mean, you could think about planting depending on how you think this week would go. Otherwise, until it comes down. So just keep in mind, following NVIDIA. It might even happen next week too, but remember, NVIDIA dynamics, it's either really good on earnings and everybody loves it, but there is even a scenario where they do good and then it kind of just chills. Gold, silver, SGML, bro, whatever that thing was up 50% and then came down. All the lithium stocks were up in the morning. So very odd, or interesting, I'd say. Fucking load. HD, again, HD is part of it. So again, like, think earnings and all that. Again, SPY's already up, man. You've moved about 0.75% to start off. It's kind of like what you saw on Friday. This time you just weren't down as much. But you started red, a couple of candles there, and then just take off at the cash open. What is it? Oh yeah, HD. HD and lows. Yeah, Bob is killing it. All the China plays. So remember, keep those in mind. I mean, there's a couple of scenarios where those come to play. Again, we still haven't even heard on the little tariff restriction yet. So we'll find out. But other than that, though, I'd still be cautious on China. But then that is, if we get back to bubbling, I am a big fan. AM Digital on the high now. So again, a lot of these tech plays started off a little bit red. I mean, even NVIDIA, they've already recovered. This feels a lot like Friday. I mean, again, that cash open here, you just went straight up. That was 0.75% in damn 10 minutes. So yeah, you're doing it again, like low key. Who's that one? Still wide spreads though, man. That's why I'm kind of a little worried about the what's it called? I'm a little bit worried about the out of the monies. That's what I'm saying. Until we see like bubbly get the skew running up, it's just gonna be a different type of set of like plays again, Chop City vibes. So we will find out. Xpeng had some. I know Joby did. There's Netflix too. So yeah, let me go back to those. I don't know if you saw them. There was a couple. It's so odd. I can't believe Netflix split. It's been a long time. Should a long time without the dope beat to long term. First you don't long term. You can shake it off and save again. You can shake it off and save again. Save again. How is it gonna move though? Oh, that's crazy too. Why did it gap down so much? I didn't even think about that. That's odd. So yeah, Netflix even, it took like extra like $5 off the bottom. Or off of like where it was split from. Fed Jefferson, Broadcom. Yeah, I mean, it's all going to be about in NVIDIA. NVIDIA is going to be like both like the sentiment and then the wind in the sails, or it'll be the storm. I mean, again, everybody already has a lot of opinions right now, and they feel certain ways. And then the other side of the economy, I mean, there's just the reality of how not good it's doing. Ain't seen no wires, and then I heard long time from the amplifiers. these are gonna play a little different. What you say? Alright, HTO Baba again in China. And then HD. I haven't even looked at the other ones. Ross usually goes. I've not followed up with their. Damn, these guys are killing it. I mean, remember DG and some of those others were down this year. But I think they had a good. They were down last year and then they ripped up. Yeah, but now they're kind of stabilizing. There's Outlook. All right, man. So point two, you kind of chilled out from the cash open. I mean, remember how Friday played, you know, how depending on how gassy we are in the morning, eventually you're going to run into one of these. Like, this is where it just gets odd. It's like if you make the cash open rip and then we end up like chilling. And then again, if you're thinking any other volatility this week, I would speak now or forever hold your peace. It's really going to just tweak out around NVIDIA earnings, but still. I have an idea for you guys, so... I'm not going to tell you now, but definitely remind me middle of the week on one of the nightly watch lists. Or it's not even a watch list, but yeah, you're going to want to be there. You're going to want to be there. STX, HPE. Yeah, UNH doing great. I mean, it's like really small though and like slow. Dude, everywhere was packed this weekend. I mean, I feel like and then it was raining too. That was the crazy part. I'll tell you this. I don't know if you guys want to hear about my poop this early. It's really early to start, but like, yeah, dude. No, I did, and I had hot pot. Oh man, let's just say I had hot pot in, hot pot out. You know, it was insane. It was insane. Tesla. No, it was terrible. Albemarle, let me see. I can't believe that one. That one was fun. Yeah, bro, those Albemarles are up even more. Are you kidding me? I'm down, bro. A lot. There's a couple of those with time from the beginning of the year that we still held. They did incredibly well. I'm actually kind of shocked. Throw it all away. If you try on the first trade, what about the next trade? Oh. And then Whirlpool holding the 70, but they chilled out. Again, a lot of those values. Excuse me. I liked all my value plays, but I got rid of them. Again, I'm going to go back and forth on them. But yeah, there's a Core Weave starting to wake up. I mean, besides NVIDIA, some of these other techs are looking pretty good. Oh. All right, man. Low ticker's not even that active. You still got healthcare kind of leading. I want to say it's more tech. ONON, CoreWiv again, and Coinbase. Let's see. All right, it's only been 17 minutes, dude. Early. Too early. Too early. All right, dude, Netflix moves slower now. So that's like $1.60. Remember this thing used to move like 10, 20? Is the watch list just for the locked in? For this and for the end of the year, yes. I guess that's the simple way to put it. I didn't get back to the locked in emails that people sent me, but yeah, that would be the simplest way. Because we didn't have a video last night. Oh, where's Bitcoin? Too early. Bitcoin is actually up right now too. So not bad. I mean, it's only 1%. And dude, can we talk about it, man? Because like, I just think a lot of people they went way too hard on crypto. It's so weird. I don't know if it's like the young generation, but like they're quitting crypto, and like, why is 96,000 a bad price? I never really thought like people would be that fucking distraught. Like, I grew up in a day where, Bitcoin going from like $3,000 to like 30, 40 grand was a big deal, I never thought going from like 120 to 96 would have been so detrimental to some people. I'd like, it's actually wicked. When you like take a step back, I'm like, come on, bro, what is this? Yeah, like it was odd. Oh, and did you see the tinfoil? You guys don't want the tin, bro. Y'all don't want this damn tin. Dog, people got mad. Dog, that's how you, and that's another way, bro. That's how you know you're over levered. Because like, bro, if you get mad at like conspiracy theories on your asset, if it like bothers you, you're like, misinformation. It's like, bro, you may have levered too much. You know what I'm saying? You like, oh, dude, I had the best tinfoil in the world. I can't believe it. Top tier 10 tinfoil. Any real tinfoilist, bro, would appreciate how good it was. Oh, but then, bro, people tripped. They got, oh yeah, I'll tell you guys in a little bit. I'll tell you on a little. Let's see how we get through this. But yeah, remind me of the tin here. High Ticker, that's what I'm saying. High Ticker is moving up here. Couple started off great. It's really just, again, that Google NVIDIA dynamic. That's really where it's going to be at. I mean, Google just did another 1-2%. Remember that Google's going to be coming out with Gemini. Oh, they want to be right. You're right. You're right. Ironically enough, I forgot about that for a second. What about that next train? Is that it? Tesla. Weird mix. I'll get you guys a checkup in a little bit, but the tech mix is odd. It's the altcoins. No one owns Bitcoin. No, it's a mix of both. I mean, people were even like the altcoins, everybody just destroyed trust. So even then, the last like couple of rallies in crypto, it just, because I get it. I mean, after the whole like Trump coin and everything in the beginning of the year, there were some like great opportunities and like some interesting projects. But then like, you even saw it with the Chad, bro. That's why I told you, I was like, man, I learned a lot even from how we both deployed our own and got to see it. But like, it's just, there's no trust in it. Everybody's scamming. That's it. So like the guys in the altcoins in the mid tier to get like some of the other demand and the younger guys ready, like it just, they have all been washed by all these scams. And then now you have Bitcoin, it's either people are just dumping every single headline as if it's just like a game. I mean, like I told you, the monetization stage is real. And I think a lot of people don't realize that they're just being sold it now. And remember, I love Bitcoin. I'm a big Bitcoin fan. It's very interesting how the communities in crypto have developed, and but I mean, it all comes with the consequence. What did somebody say? Is it like Chesterton's fence? Have you guys ever heard of that? Chesterton's fence? I think that's what it's called. Core Weave going up good. Nibis, ARM. I think Nibis had an upgrade. Even Robinhood on the high. So yeah, you're doing very well here. Again, you've moved, dog. You've moved like 1 point something on the NASDAQ to start. So Dow's the only one in the red right now, but you are gassing off of the morning. Again, a lot more tech. There's Google once again. Let me see. Very good start to the morning. Try one. Robinhood, NEM, gold is moving around. What about the next chain? Oh. Oh, I forgot. Those are hard to hit. Yeah, other guys going up there. Eli Lilly, after lagging. And then J&J, they bought somebody. I forgot who, some company for like $3 billion. Yeah, dude, CNC is ridiculous. Microsoft's coming down. CNC's I don't want to play it. You guys, you could play it, but I don't want to end it for you. On Merck CDTX, do shareholders get paid out? Depends on the deal. I'm not too familiar. I know that one just came out, but if it's all share deal, if it's cash, then you're gonna just get the price, and then your shares disappear. Otherwise, if it's cash and shares, your shares will merge, and then you'll get a payment. You want to hear the crypto tin? Give me a second. Yeah, we'll get to the top of the hour. 5 minutes we could go over. I need to go pee. I went hard on the water this morning, dog. Okay. Hi, my name Wicked Long Term. All right, BRB. Unless do we have propaganda?
Things like
we do,
and taxes,
okay,
unleashing this boom, fueling this boom that we're seeing in AI. As for what he said around the Fed, I'm not sure there's actually much substance in terms of what he says is the tyranny of the status quo. He said they should get rid of their stagflation forecast, not worry about inflation. Again, it's not clear that they necessarily have a stagflation forecast that's dictating their policy, but
the minutes have reflected that many members of the committee have talked
still worried about inflation and low growth. I think the subtext there is they should be lowering interest rates, which he sort of stops short of saying. He says that the balance sheet actually should be reduced significantly, and then they can lower interest rates to support households. So there's some policy that he would do. He also talked about some of the Fed's role as the bank regulator. He said that they should support the work of Michelle Bowman, who's the new Fed Vice Chair of Supervision appointed by President Trump, and also that they should stop focusing on the international Basel framework and just do an American regulatory framework, which would spur new lending at home. So there's a little bit of policy in there, but clearly he's making a heavy play here for the job.
Indeed. It talks a lot about sort of individual merit and the Trump administration bringing in an era where people are judged on their merits and nothing else.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, a lot of compliments for the Trump administration in this op-ed. You know, we haven't heard as much from some of the other contenders, like a Bowman, Waller. I mean, these are people on the Fed, so it's a little bit trickier for them, especially to get into fiscal policy love letters.
Is Rick Reeder still on this short list?
He, last I think,
His
our Steve
interview
Leisman reported
reportedly went
that,
well, right? Yeah, that's Hassett, of course, we hear from.
Yeah, of course. We hear from him
Hassett,
a lot, including this morning.
But very different directions. I mean, Reeder's a markets guy, Hassett's a fiscal guy, Waller Bowman on the Fed. She's a regional bank person, and Warsh, you know, is a longtime economist and has been on the Fed himself.
Although works with Druckenmiller, so been in the markets as well.
True. Yeah.
Meantime, hunting the flat line here.
True. Okay. Yeah, bonds taking a rip. Oh, Fed Jefferson. AI is influencing firms, how they think about labor. Impact of AI productivity will matter a lot to monetary policy. Okay. Yeah, Netflix flipping. Oh, Pepsi and the values are coming back up. So see how this plays. What about the next change? We already have CNC Cardinal now going up, another healthcare. And then Google's still holding the mount. Yeah, Netflix already, it's only half, it's moved so much slower. I mean, it's 10 times bigger now. And then all of those damn lithium plays are going up again. So again, I don't know what it was. I don't know if any of the news, there wasn't really anything. So that's why it's interesting. LAC now, yeah, every single one of them. Small cap, it's all lithium based, not just minerals. How do you find it? You run 2 businesses, you don't have time to be here all day. No one expected that from you, you know, brother. This has kind of been the theme like this whole year. You know, I've limited a lot of things, but finding the long-term stocks is like the easiest thing. Just go to this channel that you're on right now and then hit the post tab. They're all there, every single one. If you followed this, you would have done very nice this year. And even if you want to go to the Trading Fraternity channel, I've only posted a couple of videos to explain how the bill would affect us, all of the long-term plays, and a couple of other things. So yeah, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you balance it with your schedule. But you know, that's not been hidden from anybody, and it's very accessible. So if it took you 11 months to figure that out, I mean, I don't know what else to offer. But yeah, it's easy, super easy, all on here. And then you want, I want to show you the other one, but I don't want my fucking computer here. Task manager, please hold. Tim taught me this one. Tim, we're running at 51. Tim, 51 total, not bad. But yeah, I guess I could risk a little bit of compute to show you the next one. But this is the other thing. If you so again, finding what we bought for the long term, like I'm saying, for all of you, it's a very easy task, regardless of how many businesses you own or your schedule. But there is if you want to get ahead, you could do this one. What's it called? Slick charts. Hold on, let me get out of these. Hold on. Oh yeah, it is on Twitter too. But I wanted to make it easy, you know. He's working his businesses. We have to make sure it's easy to get. Because like I'm saying, it's on this channel. It's super easy to find. It's been like that for all year. That's why, like, you know, we tried to... That's why I didn't want to bombard people with, like, the watch list and other stuff. Because it was getting very difficult for people to follow along. But, you know, even if we have it in this easy manner, it still happens, so... But yeah, even on the Trading Fraternity, only a couple videos this year, and all of them included a long-term pickup, or most of them did. But yeah, go to it's slow. Go to Slick Charts. I'll post the link when I'm done explaining this. But oh yeah, this is the best. So if you want to get ahead, I don't know if that's up to you, but hit component returns, and I would really, you know, you hear people talk about K-shaped economy or recession, all these different things, but there's so many good names that you could be shopping for. So yeah, if you want to get ahead, I would go and familiarize yourself right now with the names that are down 20 to 30% this year, and then start filtering through with the ones that are quality, that you will be here in 10 years, that you know about all those factors. And this is you know, you may look back and be like, damn, those are good prices. So think ahead for next year, but this is something I keep, again, we're started off the week with me reminding it, baby. AEO, American Eagle, Sydney Sweeney. I don't hit the same anymore, but yeah, you're getting a Sydney Sweeney headline, or I think something. But yeah, other than that, definitely get on here and start focusing on that. Yeah, didn't crack. We're good. Dude, I think I'm gonna do it. I might start building out my own mini data center. I might need it because Tim went through my computer and we got something situated. But yeah, man. And then I might have to build my own little baby data center. But then we're gonna run some more stuff. So yeah, but we'll see. We'll wait. I don't know if they give data center deals on Black Friday. Alphabet hits record high of 5. All right, we're coming back down here a little bit. Which one's that? I know, dude. The problem is literally electricity. Isn't that crazy? So I've been trying to, I'm putting together some things, dude. And like, that's the hard part. That's literally like electricity is actually will be my constraint for what I'm building. It's like we could do it by saving some, but essentially like training different models like locally, like that's it. It just, even if you have the fucking data center or the compute, because you guys could build your own little ones now. It's actually insane, but like straight up electricity is that's the cost. So like the computer stuff's kind of expensive, but even just getting the damn energy for it is just ridiculous. You don't want to throw it all away if you find on that first train. What about the long train? Amgen, alright, spy going down. Alright, you want the crypto tin? So here's the tin. There's like this email going around. And I don't know if it's real or not. It wasn't AI. I mean, people said it was edited, but you could run it through. AEO's running on the Sydney Sweeney stuff now. It tweaked out for a little bit. But there's this thing going around, but it's so funny. I love it. I think it's hilarious. But it was like a Jeffrey Epstein email, and they were at like a climate event, and he was like naming kind of the guest list. And he mentioned Satoshi. And he said the Bitcoin guy, Satoshi's going to be there. But here's the crazy part, is just that, remember you guys, Satoshi, this is what makes it so funny. Satoshi's supposed to be an unknown figure. You're not supposed to know who he is. It's the creator of Bitcoin, the white paper. He's the one who started it all, right? And then you're telling me that he was at a Jeffrey Epstein event? Now, whether it's true or not, it's really funny to think about. But that's what got people really bothered and hot and bothered about it. But then it's, yeah, that's the tinfoil, is that he's either Satoshi or he at least knows who it is, which is odd. But yeah, people kind of freaked out about it. Yeah, I think I might do. I think we use the farm, depending on what I want to do, though, because like I'm already working on one thing, which is like separate. But like if I wanted to train any, like I wanted to do something like for the community, but it's gonna cost a lot. Not just the electricity, just to fucking train this bullshit. But yeah, I have considered solar. We'll see though, or I just wait. The longer you wait, the cheaper it gets. But then the longer you don't move, the fucking. I used to use a Threadripper. I'm not on one now. I need to fix that one. But yeah, I'm just gonna repurpose everything to power. What time is it? 7:07. Let's get a checkup. Dow is 14 green, 16 in the red. NASDAQ 100, 41 green, 60 or 59 in the red. The SPY's coming down, 203 green, 298 on the SPY. Elevas, another round of healthcare moving up. And Coca-Cola. And J&J. Again, all these companies, bro, they buy somebody and then go up. That's kind of interesting this quarter. The purchasers are moving on these deals. Yeah, app is on the low. I mean, you're getting this is doing the little Friday thing just mad early. So you had less red candles, you went straight up, but then you're already like stalling out pretty quick. Yeah, whatever. App, what is this? Commerce extends Trump's AI export program deadline. Yeah, app, dude. I just took a $10 candle. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then Nvidia's coming back down, too. Interesting. Yeah, Pepsi, all of them are doing very well. All the values, they're coming up. The premiums are still a little shaky. But yeah, XLP is just going straight up as this is coming down. Remember, just the dynamic here of Google and everything else. Just Google and NVIDIA back and forth is what you're going to be playing here. Who's the other guy? App Lovin' is still dropping. There's one more. Oh, LAR. And all the lithium. Yeah, SGML's already come back up 30. I have no idea what that is. No idea. SPY just a couple candles above open. Back down to 0.1. I mean, but, dude, you're kind of already moving within like a 1% top to bottom range already on the NASDAQ. Microsoft down. This is the day that the Lord has made. Get a long-term trade. I will hold long. I will hold long, and I'll save 10%. And I'll save 10%. CCCX. That one always just gets pumped. Pfizer's coming back up too. Actually, Pfizer looks great. RXO. What's this? Little baby rip on that. I have no idea what it is. It's not even loading up there. I think it already faded. Yeah. Who else? Apple, Netflix. Netflix is chilling. Apple too. Again, I'm surprised. I mean, that news too about homeboy stepping down was interesting. But they're saying by the end of the year. Dude, I did hear what's happening in Mexico. I'd like it. I'm honestly proud of the Gen Z, bro. I can't believe it. It's kind of dangerous. It's very dangerous, but if you see that, I'm surprised no one's talking about it. I'm surprised there's people. I mean, where is the people fighting for justice who want to protest? Because, like, dude, I'm telling you, it's like, it's huge. The Gen Z, the young generation in Mexico, they're protesting the cartels. That's what it is. Like, I've heard it worded many ways about like what's going on, but I'm pretty sure they're protesting against the cartels. They're trying to fight from being under the thumb of the cartels, and it's like it's a lot of people, and the young guys are really, really kind of revolting there. But it's just like it's along the lines of the country's been kind of under cartel power for a while, and the people have had enough. Well, yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's we've seen a lot of protests, but it's like. This is one, I mean, right in our backyard, but it's very important. So, I mean, I'm glad for them. I'm really, really glad. I know it's dangerous and, you know, going against that's not easy, but yeah, dude, it's something where we've always talked about how great of a country Mexico is. I've told you guys how much I love that place. Not because it's a fun place and everything. It's just like as an economy and everything they have, dude, is amazing. And it's just like it's marred with damn corruption. It's like the Latin version of Nigeria. You know, Nigeria is very wealthy, but there's just a lot of cartel, or there's a lot of corruption. And the same thing goes with Mexico. So, you know, if you get that out of the way, it would be awesome. But yeah, like it's just dangerous. Like that's the one. Like you'll see, like that people don't want to talk about it. It's not getting reported for many reasons. But like, yeah, the cartels are ruthless. Like usually these people would be defenseless, but you know, all together as one. I mean, they do have a lot of power, and it's I don't know, it's good to see. It's like bittersweet more or less. Kenview's even going up. Yeah, Kenview's up too. Okay. Dude, Albemarle's up 8? Oh, well, they have lithium. I didn't think about that. All of them are going up, and then remember, that was going crazy last week, so that kind of tracks very well. Yeah, dog, those plays are almost 1,000%. That's nuts. Those had time. That was like a longer term play. Just, this is a very, very wild move on them. Yeah. DraftKings, eat on the high. Bud. Oh, yeah, where's our boy? Hey, yo, Bud kind of getting candles here. I know there was something with Dio, and they were trying to keep the CEO or something. Yeah, check Bud. I don't know. It's down a lot, but it just got 3 big candles. ADR Dana here again. That's the one. NVO, hello. NVO's even going up. Who's the other guy? Eli Lilly and you. Amazon on the low. Again, they had that bond sale today. Jeppy on the high. Fed Jefferson, do not think crypto and other innovations will influence the Fed ability to monetary policy as the Fed keeps pace with what firms and households want to do. So do you guys want more? Do you guys want more bad crypto news? Can you guys handle it? I feel like you have to have bought crypto below like 70,000. Otherwise, you get pissed off at hearing anything that doesn't say it's going to the moon. It's a really weird setup in I never thought I'd see that in crypto like that. That's how it is. That's what I'm saying. Depending on your purchase price, it depends how fucking outraged you get by what's going on. So are you ready? Are you ready for it? Here's the deal. Data or AI and crypto, Bitcoin, they both need something. What do they both need? Save 10%, get a long term. High ticker is actually going pretty good. You're broadening it out a little bit. I mean, you do have 200 opportunities, 290 to go green. Again, NASDAQ, a couple names are still there. Still same setup. Yes. Both of them need energy, electricity, right? So, to some degree, you're going to have crypto, because like I'm telling you, bro, even with the AI stuff, even if you want to build your own like local model, like you still need electricity. So, Bitcoin and AI both need massive amounts of electricity. Who do you think is going to win? Pretty much they're competing for the same power source in heavy demand. Monetary policymakers don't have a view on deposit insurance reform. Isn't that fascinating? You can use solar, but it's just like, again, both of them, depending on what you're trying to operate, you have a heavy power demand that you'll need. But yeah, it's pretty much the competition between it's the competition of AI and Bitcoin on electricity, which I don't think people have talked about. Not heavily, at least. XBI, oh, let's see, you guys, because remember I was telling you how those came back to life? The out of the money shouldn't have even gone like that, but they are. It's just a widespread now. They actually chilled out even though it's going up. That's so crazy. Big spreads. All right, man. This is like a very slow Monday. More staples, but dude, what's going on with Bud? I don't know. It doesn't look like news, but I kind of woke up. And then MO, more staples are going up. XLP straight into the high, up by 0.5. So that dynamic of the back and forth is still in play, i.e. the rotation. I mean, that's all we're kind of seeing here today, give or take a couple of tech like Google. But even Google's coming back down. They've already sold off 2. Who's the other one? Nvidia down 2. Bonds are trying to come back as well. I haven't looked at dollar. Actually, gold even came right back down as well. Where's Bitcoin? Bitcoin even came back down. So all of the Monday morning stabilization, if we start edging back lower, I mean, that's kind of flying out the window. I mean, a couple of asset classes already done it. Like I said, some of these plays even from Friday are still up. Like from the gold down to the old Albert malls. They're just all continuing along. ASTS, space on the low. Well, it's good. I think a lot of you guys are seeing. But yeah, AI and Bitcoin are both in competition for massive amounts of electricity. Excuse me. But we'll see too, because AI is like, it's going to be, we'll see how next year plays out. We'll even see what happens with Gemini. But, you know, that's like that thing you heard the other day from the Facebook guy who left. World models. I forgot his name, Jan something. But, you know, there's also a growing chorus of people who think that, like, LLMs are outdated, as weird as that may sound. And that this whole, like, you know, create a token, train it, create it, you know, it has memory and do all this. They're saying, like, it's like you have to apply it to, like, real world motion, physics, and a lot of other stuff. So it's getting quite interesting. But power, and that's the thing, all these tokens and creating, that's the power. So we'll find, and I don't mean like power like influence, I mean power like electricity. Coworker says they're seeing uptick in linked activity. I know Tap laid off a bunch of people. Oh, dude, Chad, may I meet you? Have you heard about that? May I meet you? Surprisingly, that comment reminded me of "May I meet you," because it's there was another take, and like I forgot who it was, but they were saying the young kids need to drink alcohol, and they said that the risk of alcoholism is lower than the risk of social isolation. So yeah, it was a big weekend of "May I meet you" and people talking about the young guys and talking to people. It was fascinating. But yes, I don't know. Did any of you try it? Did any of you try "May I meet you"? And then Spy Still, just you had like 3 candles above the open. Whatever SGBX is. Again, half of the damn chips are up. Or IBB, Biotech's again as well. Where'd my chat go? Oh, the peach! I didn't see it! Oh, now I do. Oh, no. Man, on the air show day, too. Bradley Frizzle. Oh, my brother. How are ya? How is the week? Where's the bells, bro? Where's the bells? I can't. Oh, my. God bless America. God bless Peach Nation and our great nation. Amen. Amen. Bradley Frizzle. Oh, Chad, every day. Every day you get to make a choice. You can make every day a good day. The choice is yours. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Da 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 long term. Down, 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 down. Frizzle in the hizzle. Amen. Frizzle in the hizzle. The peach. The peach can't be beached. And then, dude, I don't know. We could talk about real estate in a little, but you guys, I would not buy any overpriced house. I don't know who needs to hear this, but that's a very, very bad move right now. So, you know, if the house is cheap, God bless America. You know, if it's below, like I said, the other, you know, I remember a Friday, homeboy sent me a property, and I was like, damn, that's actually kind of cheap, and it still wouldn't sell. So, like, I would, obviously it depends on the area, but, you know, like top ticking houses, you will regret it. So just remember, like, a lot of things, demand, rents, the immigration, all of that, like there is like a pseudo part of the economy that has been removed, or like a pseudo supporter. There was a lot of demand coming from certain areas, but yeah, dude, it's not like this whole boom and everything they're looking for. Does not revolve around like higher real estate. So I would not be somebody's exit. Now, does that mean you should not buy a home? No, you should, but you know, you're gonna take your dollar and your financial safety and equity a longer way by just getting a good deal. And you know, and it's not like this, it's so much easier to get a good deal now than any time in the last 5 years, i.e. you can negotiate on a home. Does that make sense? Anytime in the last like 4 or 5 years, mother effers were not negotiating with you. You know, they were like, I know what it's worth, I know what I could get. So like I'm telling you, man, it's you know, you definitely can get a way better deal right now than any other moment where you can like legitimately negotiate. So I would not be quick to go big, or to, again, if you're buying a house at the highest it's ever been, I would be cautious of that. Down, 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 down. I created a long term because nobody want long term no more. They want long terms on chopped liver. You want a long term? They said, well, I'll give you. Play on the Heim. You got a contract on buyer and 140 below ask, closing costs covered and commission paid. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Nikki B. No, for real though. Good work too. As your agent, space going up. But that's what I'm saying, man. Just, you know, it's good if you're long-term grew and some of you ready to get a home. But I mean, I just keep dealing with this. I mean, a lot of you guys will email me. I got a lot over the weekend. And even then, you saw it like a month ago. You know, I will try my best to advise people, or at least like give them the warnings. Don't buy mobile homes. Don't overpay. And like, it just, people are getting emotional. But like, you got to really take a step back and just, this is a very, very different real estate market than what you've dealt with. And it's more in your favor. That's why I'm like, it's in your favor, but if you don't play the cards the right way, and I mean, it'll work against you. So yeah, just don't be anybody's exit at an extremely high price. PayPal? I mean, SPY's kind of waking up. You just got almost a 50-50 on the high-low ticker. Can you ask a long-term question? Of course. Your father-in-law wants to sell his house in a nursing home, but as power of attorney with fiduciary, he's not allowed to do that. I mean, who's in charge of it? So whoever could sign off on it, I mean, it's yeah, you just got to go through the steps of that. Bad idea to buy parents' homes, overvalued. I'm confused. I mean, usually if your parents sell you the house, they usually don't overcharge you. But so it just, I mean, I care about the value. If you want a sentimental home, it's up to you, but I usually don't really do that. But yeah, I would try to keep as many emotions out of the real estate, except unless it's like, oh, I love the house and I want to build, you know, a family here. But it's just like, people make that mistake, because even if you want to build a family in one of these homes, it's like, dude, you don't have to pay double what it's worth, or I'm sure you could find an alternative now. Like, remember Tina, there is no other alternative. Now in real estate, you have a tremendous amount of alternatives, especially, and there'll probably be more moving forward. PayPal, I think we're up on it. I have it in the long term. I have it small. I think this is did we guide at 67 or 52? I think we're at like 67. I don't know. So I wouldn't pay. If it's up, I wouldn't buy it. It might be some dead money, but then again, it has been a couple of years. I thought I had PayPal. Oh, yeah, that's great. We're break even on it. So yeah, I'd maybe wait till it goes lower. I mean, it did just drop like what, 10-20% or something. So, and that brought us to break even. But yeah, I'm not really, I don't like buying anything higher. Unless it's like doing really well and we want to add, we bought Abivai and a couple other names higher, but especially if it hasn't done much. But yeah, just be on the lower end of PayPal. I wouldn't want to be on the higher end. Not a recommendation. Your parents will overcharge you, mine did. That's not usually what I see, to be honest. So I mean, if that's the case and your parents, want a higher price, I would just tell them to sell it. But most of the deals I see with like family, son, daughter, it's usually a discount. That's why I usually say do it. I don't know if PayPal has a divvy. I don't know, you guys are saying that, but I feel like they don't. Who got to pay the plug? My God, you already got locked in. Oh, Horna. My brother. Let's go, baby. You closed the seller too, man. Asking price, and Ian closed their property in South Carolina the same day. Oh, I love it, man. Dude, y'all still killing it, man. There's a lot of real estate opportunities. That's why you got to use wisdom. Don't be emotional, and especially those of you who keep grinding away, man. The reward is there. Someone told me the harvest is plenty, the workers are few. So Miguel, you're not allowed to tell us what you buy. So you were trying to get people to tell them what you bought too this morning, and I don't know if you noticed, everybody ignored you because that's the rules. So I'm sorry that some of you haven't been able to stay in touch, but the rules are still the rules. So at this point, most people get them. But yeah, that being said, though, I like Kimberly Clark. That's why we could have had a good discussion if you didn't end it with potential influence. But yeah, I like Kimberly Clark. That's on the list. Had its biggest one-day decline since 1987. We were talking Friday about the portfolio. And I like Procter & Gamble. You got a little SPY little mini red, and then a Bonds mini gold or green. Oh yeah, where is it? PG, bro. That's the one I really like. But yeah, Kimberly Clark's not bad. I would just get familiar with all these value names and let your portfolio speak to you. But yeah, I'm down for another long-term talk. But just as Miguel made the sacrifice for you guys. But just don't say what you're buying. We don't want any of that. Just we could talk about it and have a good discussion and learn of what's positive and not with the stock, but not this influence nonsense. Nvidia red's been red. Is it just taking a fat red? Yeah, no, Nvidia was down like 1.9 earlier. But yeah, so SPY 2 candles up, 2 candles down. Bonds and SPY right now. Even the yen too. I know everything kind of just took a little hit on the head. I mean, it is 1 hour till Euro close, but still. Are refinancing offers ever worthwhile? Just depends where your mortgage is at. the yen, because just in general. Remember, yen has been terrible. You know, everything going on in Japan, their growth, they've been raising rates. I mean, it's kind of, in a weird way, we're lucky we have like an AI bubble, and we have a lot of other crazy shit, because like, yeah, Japan's been doing that rate raising. Remember, that's not hard, or that's not easy. And I think there's just a lot underneath the surface. Yeah, and their economy is still, didn't they just announce the stimulus? Yeah. So I think it's all of that stuff. It's not, the China stuff will add at the margin, but not that crazy. Is it Bitcoin dropping? I mean, Bitcoin's just chilling, but not the low. Yeah, real estate is amazing, but there's like a weird, I don't know if we're gonna find out, but I'm already starting to hear about it. But like, essentially, like, you remember like '08 in The Big Short, and then all these like no doc loans, and they're like, they're giving everybody a loan and this and that. Yeah, so like, long story short, most of you guys didn't get, like, you had to like qualify and do a lot of like, you have to go through a bunch of hoops to get real estate. But yeah, there's like, we don't know how many people got no doc loans on the illegal side. I'm being dead ass serious. That's the crazy part. So like, you'll notice places closer to the border, those are the real estate markets that have slowed down the hardest. Literally San Diego, Texas border towns, you name it. But yeah, it's just like that's a portion of demand that we have no idea about right now. And I think we may figure it out in the future, but to a certain degree, there was a shit ton of no-doc loans that weren't given to everybody, but just a certain subset of people over the last 4 years. So that's why it's like, it plays out different, and like that demand, you got to think about it, even for rent. Even if it didn't lead to property purchase, it led to rents. No doc is no documentation. So like, and not like citizen documentation, but like the documentation of income, how much money you have, your job, all of that stuff. It went, people were doing some pretty shady loans, and more people are figuring that out, but it's a pretty dark hole. We don't really know how big it is. We don't know really what it led to, and then how many there truly were. Like, you saw that FHA data, but I've been getting some other data, and people are talking about it, but it's that's the part where you got to think about demand, rent. All new rents are coming down as well, but yeah, it is kind of crazy how exactly, when you're under, if you didn't have certain things, you had to go through the normal process. But you know, there was a lot of people helping people get other loans, and you see it. Just go look at any town that borders, or like the cities. Again, San Diego is a great example, because San Diego got hot, really, really hot, and then it also declined as well. I mean, even again, you could even argue Miami to a degree, and some of the stuff that you had going on there. But yeah, it's a very fascinating one. Okay, bonds are leading the way to the downside. Miami. I really want to go to Miami. I would have fun in Miami. I want to go to, I still want to go to South Dakota. It's worse than predatory loans? No. It wasn't predatory. It was, no, it just more or less, it just demand. That's all I care about. That's it. It's just like your demand in certain areas is just not what it was. And like, there was an extra portion of demand that doesn't exist, or it won't exist in the future. And then, you know, we'll see where it leads to with supply. And that sounds like a good thing. It sounds good, you know, you'd be like, okay, then that means more supply will come on the market. But the problem is prices aren't low. And that's now the kind of shitty situation. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's 08-esque, but it's just like, there was a certain period where demand wasn't there, supply was increasing, and then the prices were still elevated. So we're at the prices are still elevated, but the demand demand was altered in the last couple of years. It just may not reflect the true value and demand. That's why I'm telling you guys, if you have it in your favor right now, I just would not be buying at the highest prices possible. That is the easy answer. Dakota, Minnesota. A streaming test laptop? We'll see. We need to just get that other one up, but I want that. I want that damn Blackwell, bro. I do. I really, really do. I would just have to get used to, like, I don't know if all my shit will run on Linux. That's the only problem. Oh, Mr. Diaz, hello. I don't need it. I mean, why? I mean, it's an overkill for streaming, but I do have some other stuff that pretty much I could stream and then run a lot of my other stuff on the back end. It's just going to be like everything. It's just going to get outdated in a year or 2 years. But then at least if it gets outdated for AI, it'll be able to run everything else. Anything runs on Linux. Just not as smooth. Like some software is more consumer based. Like even like graphics, like capture cards and other stuff. But I did check. I could run all my audio equipment with it. Ethereum on the low, so watch out if Bitcoin drops. I put up AXP. DGNX. Harbor Mall. All right, man, we're like right back to open. Pax. I got a free bed in Miami. Dude, I want to go on tour, bro. I want to tour America and then stay at the Chad's house and just see, but until somebody stabs me. But yeah, we'll see. $160 gigabytes of RAM on your home setup? That's very good. Maybe then. Dawn. Okay, low. Whatever this is. Low ticker's kind of chilling, or kind of picking up. High ticker's chilling. But yeah, it's not that insane. This is like a weird remix of. Friday was just intense with that move, but like if you think about it, where does this place us? So yeah, you're like back into the pre-Euro close. You're like within the first hour of Friday. You're you hit 6720. It's either 6700, 6720. I'm pretty sure it's a momentum zone. Well, you don't need the, I mean, RAM is part of it, and like I need certain RAM stuff for streaming, and then obviously you need it for like other AI stuff, but then ironically, those teraflops, dude. You remember teraflop? Every time you'd hear those on the, you need teraflops for trading. But it's actually crazy though, because like, you know, that one teraflop you could accomplish most tasks with it, like crazy tasks. Predatory apartment complex application fees, and there's no oversight, and they deny and charge people. Can we talk about that? yeah, I mean, that's been going on for a really long time. So I do agree that, you know, there's people who do it shady. They have charged people before. So like, there's been a couple of companies. Is it like Greystone? There's been a couple of people who've gotten in trouble for it because they were like hella scamming. But I don't think that practice is ever gonna change. You know, it just, you got to make sure you're like, it really all just depends on the building and who's doing it. But yeah, it is just be mindful. I mean, I would not spend a lot on application fees, and it really, the intent and purpose is to make sure you could qualify, amongst other things, and then it depends on how deep they're running your background. But the other part of that coin is that a lot of people lie. You know, a lot of people fake shit, and that's where people have to, you know, landlords have to protect themselves, and then vice versa. It just turns into abuse. Either somebody's abusing it, either the renter or the landlord. That's the simple way. So just be mindful, and I wouldn't waste all your money applying to places. Most good places, like, you don't have to do an application fee. But then all the big complexes, they do make you do that. Under Armour claimed a victim to Everest ransomware. Am I wanting to backtest data sets in trading? No, I'm not going to use the one I'm working on it's not for trading. But yeah, you can though. You definitely can. But I'm not, I mean, I do all my own trading and other stuff, but it's a different reason. It's a really cool reason. And then I want to make one for the Chad. About like, just for like information and then how to do other stuff. But yeah, it's gonna take a minute, or I just have to, I want to wait because then electricity. Google to invest in creating 2 connectivity hubs for trans-Indian Ocean region. Does that mean they are, you know? What does that mean, huh? All right, 7:47. Good morning. Do. Well, it just, or if people keep, like, that's the thing, is that I want to, if people already train stuff, you could like adapt it, and that'll save you a lot on electricity cost and everything. But then, yeah, you're gonna have to rely on someone else's training. That's the dilemma. If you train it from scratch, cost way more work, but then you get to build it however you want. Or you could take someone else's model, that's why open source is great, and then you just strip it out and put whatever else you need in it. $300 to $500 for an application fee? I've never heard of that. Dude, the highest application fee I've heard of is $100. What do you mean $300 to $500? That's crazy. Yeah, that I would stay away from. I've never heard of $300 to $500. I think that's illegal. I don't know. I've never heard of that much. All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity.
NASDAQ. 0.1%. Communication services.
I don't know if
is
it's
the
gonna
start
cut out
today,
yet.
and that's thanks to this rally in Alphabet. News that Berkshire Hathaway has taken a stake. Alphabet shares are up more than 5%, but some of the other media names are higher as well. Fox, Paramount, Disney, AT&T, Netflix are all higher. Utilities and healthcare, the other green sectors. Everybody else is down today. Ahead of a lot of key reports from retailers. NVIDIA earnings this week. We'll get the first jobs report since the shutdown for September on Thursday. After the break, the FAA lifting restrictions on airports, but the airlines are still facing financial hits from the shutdown. What that means for shareholders
I think it will,
next.
right? And so,
then Yale,
yes, I would
Jefferies
expect
up-
as you see these deals get done, Switzerland, not so much Switzerland, but in Asia,
I think you're going to see some more orders announced. It's that or military orders, I think, that are going to boost some of the balance of payments between the U.S. and some of those countries.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy thing to do if you're, some leader of some country. I'll buy some more planes.
Yeah.
Easy
5 planes, and that's a couple.
Yeah, gets you off,
big number.
Get the president off your back, and then you move on. So there you go. George Ferguson, senior aerospace, defense, and airlines analyst for Bloomberg Intelligence, not at the Dubai Air Show. So we note that. But again, he goes to most of these air shows around the world because that's where they sell the planes, apparently. S&P 500 down 5 points. This is Bloomberg. Good morning.
Jesus. Praise God. Amen, amen. It's a cult, baby. Aye. Yeah. If we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there. I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared. Big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear. Oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Nah. It's done. Daddy said it's finished. Made me in his image, but that always made me timid. Wonder why we different, don't you ever get it twisted. It's the only way we get it, set apart from the start. And the heart isn't ours. It's a hippie with the love, but it's David with the sword. I want peace, so that means you gon' kill me if it's war. Nietzsche, Trotsky, can't beach on the ark. Want it easy or hard, want a genie or a god. Then believe me, lil' bro, you a child, you a son of the highest in the bud. Don't deny it, we don't like it when they tell us who we are. I can tell you who I was, I can tell you who he is. I can make another song that's telling y'all about the crib. But for a second, keep it real, it's not the reason they will kill. It's the freedom in believing they want death to bring the will. But I'd rather have it now, and I ain't never backing down. Lion gonna eat me or turn his ass around. Either way, I will remain up in his name and say it proud. Here, let's say it now. Jesus. I put Jesus on the beat so I can listen to it. I got reason to believe that we living in it. You could say it's one hell of a decision in it. Ay, if we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear, oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Amen.
Okay, I'm here. I don't know if you want to hear it. I got
As we mentioned
down
earlier,
this
good
pro,
news,
dude.
FAA lifting all restrictions on commercial flights today ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday, but airlines are still facing hits to their bottom lines from the shutdown. Phil LeBeau here with the details. Phil, how bad is it going to be?
Well, we don't know because we don't have the final numbers. We do now.
We
but
do
the
get the
analysts
data
are now
this
just
week.
putting those numbers together
Telling
in
you,
terms of what
it's gonna
the
be
impact will
lower.
be for
If
the
it's
fourth
not this
quarter.
one,
We'll
it'll be
talk
the
about
next
that
one.
in a little bit. In terms of the daily operations, we've seen these reports all morning long. It's smooth operating, generally speaking, at airports around the country, largely because you're looking at the restrictions being lifted starting at 6 a.m. and good weather. That always is the key determining factor in the fourth quarter. In terms of the government-mandated cancellations, which started on November 7th and then they went through yesterday, a total of 7,710 flights canceled at the 40 largest airports. This is according to Cirium. That works out to be about 4.7% of the schedule. O'Hare hit the hardest in terms of the mandated cancellations, 26.6% of the flights. For the airline stocks, they're not moving higher today because the cancellation order has been lifted. In fact, they're slightly lower. Why? Because the fourth quarter is the most important quarter of the year for the airlines. Maybe you could make an argument the summer might be a little bit more important, but it's huge. And they will take a hit in the fourth quarter. We heard from Ed Bastian last week. Any of the corporate travel that was scheduled last week, that's largely gone. You're not going to see people say, well, I was going to schedule it, now I'm going to come back. A little bit of that. Generally speaking, that's gone. The good news is that you still have Thanksgiving and Christmas, guys. Most believe when the analyst estimates come out, you're looking at each of the large airlines probably taking a couple $100 million hit in terms of revenue. Now, whether or not they can make some of that up because there may be some pent-up demand, people might say, okay, well, I was thinking about canceling a flight or not taking it, but now that everything's going, I'm going to schedule my flight. There might be a little bit of that, but I think in the next couple of days, we'll get a clearer picture about what the implications are for the fourth quarter for the airlines.
We tried to pin Bastian down on what capacity growth might look like for next year. That's probably a conversation for coming weeks, Phil. I wonder, did you have any eyes on Dubai Air Show and some of these orders for Boeing planes out of Emirates, for example?
Right, and that was expected, that we were going to be seeing some orders, not huge orders relative to what we see when we're in Paris or at the Farnborough Air Show, but certainly significant as the Middle East continues to grow in terms of commercial air service. So you saw Boeing this morning, you saw some incremental orders for GE Aerospace in terms of engines. GE Aerospace now, for some of their engine segments, they have 70% of the Middle Eastern market. And again, that is small relative to Europe and relative to North America, but it's growing. And that's why the Dubai Air Show is what people are focused on right now, because you want to see, okay, what are we looking at over the next 10, 15, 20 years? And that's where a lot of growth is happening.
Phil, thank you. Phil LeBeau. Head on to Money Movers this morning. Take a look at shares of Blue Owl, of course, one of the large alternative asset managers.
Is that them? That little buzzing. It's off the CNBC thing. Alrighty. Whew. I had to get some pro, dog. You know what I'm saying? I got to get some pro. Got to get it yapping. Okay. Wow. So 8 o'clock, 30 minutes till Euro close. I mean, you haven't moved much. I mean, you had a lot of movement, but you're barely up. The idea everyone's looking for is stabilization. Yo, CRISPR kind of launching up 1.5. And then, okay, you guys want more tinfoil? I don't know if you guys could handle it, but I have more tinfoil for you. Oh, man. This one's a good one. It has to do with CRISPR. It has to do with gene editing. Because it was funny because before crypto started, like, dumping, you guys remember I was telling you, I was like, you guys don't, like, for the young guys, CRISPR's really going now. Hold on, let me double check that. That's at 2.5. It's about to trigger. CRISPR. I don't see anything there. Yeah, CRISPR's up 2.7. There was a couple of other biotechs, NXDT, whatever this is, 5%, but it's a liquid. So be careful on that one. CRISPR's still going. Now it's up 3, so yeah, it's triggering. Again, CRISPR, they did bad on, there was like a downgrade on gene editing stuff a couple weeks ago. Or wasn't there bad data? There was something. There's a Jefferies Health Conference. Well, yeah, the premium's already jacked up on that one. Smooth long-term radar. There's one cheap one left on that chain. It's super far at the money, though. Good morning. Is SBGI Sinclair? Do hydroplane doing 65 and did a full 360. Well, you're okay, right? Jeez. You have to be okay if you first came to the Chad. Yeah, man, be careful. Be careful. Make sure you guys check your tires, too. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you have wires coming out of your tires, you should replace them. Okay? You've gotten it to the... I'm glad you saved a lot by taking it to the wire, but just, you know, the only wire you should have is the news wire. So, yeah, replace your tires, especially if you live in rainy places. Takeover chatter on CRISPR? I don't see that one yet, but... It's up 2.3. If it's more opinion, it'll fade. If it's like a real offer, it'll go. And SPY even coming down. But yeah, we saw. I don't know if it was conference or not. Now Chad's saying it could be a takeover rumor. But just see, again, those opinion articles hit a little different. CRISPR is Betaville. Smooth like a rain. Long-time Raider. PayPal and NVO going up. And then Nuvo. I kept seeing that one. I just didn't click on it. No, I'm serious. Yeah, man. You gotta... The tires are dangerous, dude. I always took my Honda to the wire, doc. Oh, you have no idea. And then you know what happened to me? I just had to keep changing my tires because I kept running over nails. I swear, bro, they were scamming me. I swear that's the tinfoil, bro. You know that? I swear it's a tin. They just be throwing nails on the road. Or but I just do it. It was every time I drive to like a house, like a construction site, bro. I would always drive home with a fucking nail in my tire. It happened like 4 times in a row. It was terrible. But yeah, okay, so you ready? Because I was telling you guys last week on crypto, I was like, all the young guys, I'm like, you don't think it's weird? I see so many people, they really want to build their future on Bitcoin. I mean, some people are reconsidering now, given, you know, the $30,000 move, even though it's not that crazy. But then I was telling you, I was like, bro, you figure out 23 words, or 24 words, you get the, 23? I'm blanking on the number. You figure out 23 words in the right order, you get to inherit the whole the biggest Bitcoin wallet in the world. You guys know that, right? So, well, you guys should figure out Satoshi's the key. But here's the deal. Are you ready for it? Do you know who's gonna figure it out first? It's gonna be the gene editing companies. People don't understand it, but yeah, gene editing companies, when they really learn how to alter the genes, that's going to allow them to crack the code on Bitcoin. Yeah, think about it. Again, because even in gene, there's like what? There's 23 genes and genetics markers, and then you have the 12 that tie into your brain, or like just neural networks and all that. There's a lot of those numbers, but yeah. Yeah, it's because the sequencing. Once they figure out the gene editing, that's gonna crack Bitcoin, not your fucking quantum computer. Ah! Isn't that funny to think about? That's my tinfoil. Brought to you by Josh. Get a long term. So yeah, they're kind of secondary, more bullish than you think. But I don't own any of them. I haven't invested in any of these. But I do think that technology, it's like it goes hand in hand, but just most people don't see it. Well, the only thing is unique is that it's like your DNA. It does tie in, but that's pretty cool, huh? I think I got some of y'all thinking today. All right, man, you're right back to open. You're like right above the candle, which is a quarter. I think we were down like what, 0.3 to start? But yeah, you have gone back and forth a couple of times here. About 1%. EYPT, that's the I one. think. I don't know, but CRISPR is chilling. That's why I told you that tin, because CRISPR started popping. I like the tin, but I never realized you got to be careful with tin and Bitcoin. Motherfuckers trip out. They're way too over levered. That's what I realized. Alzheimer's with that? I don't know. Alzheimer's is a weird one. Remember, there's still no Alzheimer's. I don't even know. They have stuff to like help with it, but you know, Alzheimer's is one of the modern mysteries. It's honestly the worst, man. That's why, like, when you really think about it, Alzheimer's is terrible. It's like actually, it's the worst thing you could imagine, and like how it kind of like is caused. You don't know if it's a mix of genetics, it's a mix of how you treat your body, how you live. There's all sorts of things. Box and Amazon signed multi-year strategic collaboration. All right, man, we're coming back down. Just keep it. Oh yeah, is that why they pop like that? But check Bitcoin and gold. Bitcoin's going down, and gold. I remember gold was down a lot more on Friday and then came up. Even Netflix flipped. Unch. Well, the diabetes things relate to it, but then that's just like, is it related, or does just obesity cause a bunch of different issues? That's pretty much what happened with GLP-1s. It's just like it helped people lose weight, and obviously there was like diabetic stuff, but the real diabetes companies like Dexcom, we were just talking about this, they are serving the people who are born with it. And like, you got to think about it, people born with diabetes is different than the people who develop it. But like, you know, long story short, a lot of stuff is just caused by obesity. So that's like where the Alzheimer's things come in, because they're like, wow, we've noticed less Alzheimer's in certain people, but that's just because they're not obese anymore. So it's fascinating, and that's why, you know, GLP-1s have already changed the world, but, you know, we'll see where it ends up. But I don't know if we ever figure out Alzheimer's. You know, I'd like to think Alzheimer's is more about how you live rather than genetics. But then again, it goes a long way, and then especially with disease, that's just all it is. It's either genetics or how you live. Like, as you get better, you lose weight, or lighter people have it less than heavy people. Well, just there's like, if you're obese, it leads to, it probably exasperates. Again, I'm not a doctor. It exasperates. I like to think it exasperates a lot of like health things. But then that's why like they're taking, like they've studied GLPs with almost every disease at this point. And just what they notice is that people are losing weight, and then when they lose weight after being obese, these other things start to diminish or decline. So I don't know if it's because you're skinny, but if you do have obesity, it's going to contribute or probably make other things a lot worse. That's kind of why there's been so many applications of GLP-1s helping people out medically. Trump to back opponents of Republicans against redistricting? Huh? To back opponents of Republicans against redistricting? So is he for it? And then Danny here, again, Merck, CRISPR, NVO, all these healthcare companies or biotech really are whisking away. Oh, get in the zone. Auto zone. Up by 0.8. Auto zone. Yeah, Alzheimer's is terrible, dude. I don't think a lot of, you know, God bless you if you had to deal with it, man. And if I pray nobody else has to, because it's terrible. If you've ever had somebody really go through dementia or Alzheimer's, it's like, you know, imagine your mom looking at you and being like, who are you? Or like you'll have a conversation and then 5 minutes later you'll forget all about it. It's terrible. it's a dark ass. I don't think people like realize it. Like, because if you've never had to live through it or you never had somebody close with it, it's so bad. It's the trippiest thing, and it's like, yeah, it's not fun. It's very like, most people can't even fathom it because it's so awkward and odd. You're like, what do you mean? Like, you could have a full-on conversation, and it's just not everything. Like, and then they'll remember certain points, but it really just, what it turns people into is just, it's a shell of their former self, and you know, memories, family, all those things are important. It's very demoralizing. That's why like whoever could figure it out, that's why Biogen, you know, they were the closest, but it's been like 4 or 5 years you haven't gotten any updates. 5 years ago, Biogen was close, it seemed, or people were hyping it up, but that's why whoever could cure it, man, it'll be a game changer. Speaking of which, I don't know though. Biogen is kind of ramping. I know they had one update on another drug, but I think, 5 years. This was the, like, last update was like 2021. I won't even say before that they had some updates on it. Yeah, like even in 2016, dude. It's been a long time. But yeah, they were the closest. Alzheimer's or whatever. Yeah, box there, that pop and lock off it. Oh, God bless you, bro. That's why, man, enjoy the moments that you can, and I encourage you to keep your head up if you have any close family dealing with it. It's tough, dude. It's tough. People with dementia usually remember foods that they like. Try that. Yeah, that is, I mean, if you can, you could always do those exercises of like finding out what it is, of like, or find the stuff that they do remember is always there's a joy in that, and it does have, like, the brain, man, is a trip. So like you can exercise it in ways, but again, nobody knows about it. Like, there's no real, like, it's very mysterious. All right, man, you're back into the low now. 6-7. Remember, I say it's like 6,700 or 6,200. You had support on the way up, but I do think that starts to trigger a lot of downside momentum. So we'll see. Again, Staples, healthcare. Those are your leaders, but actually Staples already flipped, man. Staples did 0.5%. And then the Betaville stuff's hitting the wire. CRISPR's trim in circulation, but there's no buyer mentioned. Yeah, CRISPR's still working its way up. There's no real good options on that. Let's see where we're at breakdown-wise. NASDAQ, 66 in the red, 35 in the green. So, like, what, another 10? Another 10 names went red on the NASI. Dow is 21 red, 9 in the green. I think that was 50-50 earlier. So that got worse. And then SPY, 334. I want to say another 50 went red. 160 in the green. So, yeah, and then we're back below. It's going to be interesting, man. Like I'm saying, Monday, how we played out the desire for stabilization after last week. I think we're going to see it play out pretty interesting here. Remember, Mondays are usually good, so a bad Monday give just some jitters ahead of NVIDIA. Yeah, SPY's going down. And NASDAQ's 0.4. It looks like Russell's the worst. Again, U.S. Small caps were the underperformer. So we could go over this one. I was showing it. This is something to keep in mind for next year, but you've seen it. I don't know. How many of you guys knew this? How well do you think small caps in America have done compared to the rest of the world? Does anybody know? Do any of you guys, are you aware? So how do you think US small caps have stacked up? I already showed you guys in the morning. Just performance on the year. Would you say US small caps are good? SPY's going lower? Going low, no. Apple 10% with the long term, with the fire. You got the long term looking at how it hit the floor. They bought some more, and they got low, no. I'm so sorry. I feel like that's the part with crypto, man, is that a lot of people are getting demoralized on crypto because like everything's just a pump and dump. Everyone's getting really pissed off, but I think it's starting to scar a certain generation of crypto investors, mainly young, but even like a certain demographic that's kind of already been in it because everything is just turned into a damn fucking scam, or it does. You're getting a lot. Welcome to. This is what happens when you institutionalize it, up. You think it's bad? All right, SPY's still going now. It's picking up a little bit, whatever's holding up, but it's really like even healthcare is about to give it up, bro. Who else was it? MO, that's a staple ripping, but I don't know what's going on with that. Even Google's giving it up. Nvidia hasn't hit a low yet, so this is all without Nvidia. So this isn't even that bad. Yeah, this is something else. Banks are already down almost 1%. I mean, MO's moving up with volume. I just don't know what it is, but China welcomes agriculture products from Russia. Premier closer cooperation with Russia. But yeah, this isn't all of the worst ones yet. Like without Nvidia, you have Google giving up some of the gains. I mean, it's sold off from 2, but you do got 15 minutes till Euro. We'll see if Monday holds up. So yeah, here's small caps. So US small caps were the worst in the world besides India. You guys know that in the last year to date. So every single country practically developed and emerging, their small caps killed it. And then India went negative and SPY or Russell was only up by 6. Kind of crazy. So keep this in mind for next year, whether that becomes, if that turns around and becomes a leader. But, ever since, it's kind of like Bitcoin in a way. It had a good end of the year last year, but then it kind of like chilled out. Apple. Oh, let me see Apple. I mean, I just watched Nvidia and Google because now you are getting a little segment that's declining and it's not related to all that. But and then watch, if you could get a buyer or a price on crypto, it'd be good. But yeah, we'll see. But I do think it's Nvidia. I mean, Apple is down too, but if this would be terrible without Nvidia. And then again, imagine if Google was not up 4% on Buffett news, even though it's a Monday and we felt stabilized. I mean, without the Google news, I think this day would look a lot different. Oh, Tesla's up a lot too. Dude, it's so funny. Tesla and Meta, as odd as this sounds, they're like kind of small. I mean, I can't just... Broadcom is the elephant in the room. Why is it up so much? How is it bigger? Yeah, crypto on the low. The problem is like this sentiment is bad, but it's just like, dude, this isn't that bad. So why is crypto sentiment this bad when like last time sentiment was low, you had scam after scam blowing up on the largest scale. You had Luna, you had FTX, you had everything, bro. But it doesn't, again, even like COVID and all these other things. So I just think a lot of people, I think you mix in the leverage and, everyone getting excited, and everybody's turned every event. It's not even everybody. I would argue it's Wall Street, and it's the people who have institutionalized it, you know. They're just turning everything into a front run and dump. This has been the year of the front run, but, you know, the way it played out is just, you know, usually everything gets overcrowded and then they get dumped on. I mean, we've seen that come to life in many ways, so it's an odd dynamic. As we will see. And then, again, that whole AI in power is going to be an interesting one, too. We're going to see how that ends up. Because, institutions are in... It doesn't even matter about positioning. Institutions are not, like I'm saying, they're not like buying and holding, waiting for $1 million, like the propaganda trying to get everybody to do. They're selling it. They're making money like it's a loan. You just imagine all the commissions, all the fees. Dog, we have created careers out of buying Bitcoin. Literally 5 years ago, I was getting made fun of for the same thing at 90% lower. And now 10 times more. People are like, yeah, no, it's you buy this, sell this. No, yeah, it's amazing. It's the future. Buy and hold. But now they're making more money packaging it up, institutionalizing it, and then just circle jerk. It's a circle jerk. It's the same thing as all the NVIDIA stuff, but different. And now you have all of this popular demand behind it. It's turned into a career to buy it. And then, yeah, well, that's the altcoin season is like in the way, like, it's all turned into scams. That's like the opposite side of it. That's the non-institutionalized monetization. You see what I'm saying? People are monetizing this idea of crypto being the next best thing. Buy, hold, get on the next big thing. All you got to do is buy. They're selling it. You see what I'm saying? It's all just sloshing around. And you got to think about it. You only make money if you trade it the right way, right? Or if you buy it low, you hold it, and then you still got to sell it. They're making money on every side. That's why turning everything into a prediction market and a front run, who do you think that helps? It's only helping the institutions who are now controlling it all. That's why it's very different than, when I bought Bitcoin back, over a decade ago. It was supposed to be deinstitutionalized. It was supposed to be literally decentralized, and everybody is taking a decentralized asset and then turn it into that, and then now you mix in the stable coins. They're just taking the stable coins. They're creating their own infrastructure for it, and then again that's so they could operate it and use it in their own networks, kind of like a local AI model. It's just their local AI crypto without having to deal with all that, and then the rest they're just selling it over and over and over again. Again, the commissions, the holding fees, that's where the money is being made. I mean, this is what I've been saying all year, have I not? I just don't think people understood it. I was saying right from BMNR. What was the one right before? Was it BMNR? What was the one that we got? CEP. That was when because I told you I hate this bullshit, and we made 1,000% on it, and I got free shares of it or whatever. You guys don't remember? It was on this date. So yeah, that was in April. It was April or March. It was BMNR and CEP. And you guys remember I said, listen, I hate all these. I think they're scams. I said, we're just going to make money on it because we're early. Welcome to monetization. It's a pyramid scheme. But yeah, this is what I was explaining. I'm like, you are at the monetization phase. It's just different. Like, these guys are not buying and holding the same way you and I were doing it. Again, I still hold my Bitcoin from back in the day, dude. I don't feel any of this. Yeah, if I had plans to buy something, then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's fluctuating all over. But it's a completely different world compared to where people are getting in. But that's what I'm saying. They've used a misnomer to convince people to buy these quote unquote Bitcoin treasury stocks. That's not Bitcoin reserves. They fucked it up. But that's where you knew they were monetizing it. That's how you knew we were entering that stage of, we're going to spend the next couple of years just selling it back and forth, and then they're going to just cash in on it. It doesn't matter what price it goes to. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. And even I remember when I was saying in the beginning of the year, I honestly thought it was going to go higher. That's the scary part. So maybe it does go higher. but I thought it was going to go a lot higher. But I was telling you how in the monetization phase, everyone's like, oh, Bitcoin goes to zero, that's a problem. It's like, no, dude, it doesn't have to go to zero. If it goes to 200, 300, 400, and then they monetize and they use this monetization stage to issue more and more activity at a higher price, and then it comes down 30, 40%, you could wash a lot of people, and that could end up being quite disastrous. That's kind of what you're witnessing now, but I think now is a lot smaller. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? We went from, and you went from 130, 120 to 90, and motherfuckers are acting like a twin tower fell or something. What are you talking? It's not that bad, but people they feel it differently, you know, just like the economy. You can't tell people how they feel about it, right? Because it's just like, that's just what's happening. So it's a very odd one, but that's the risk in this stage. So that's why I encourage you all, be wise. But I think some of you, if you're young and are looking for like 1,000x returns on your investment, I think you're better off getting a long-term and then getting involved in AI. Do you not get it? I'm already moved on to AI, motherfucker. I was one of the first people at Bitcoin, and motherfuckers made fun of us. I even got you guys in at the last call at 10,000 in 2020. You know, that was the last call before monetization. There was a couple of pickups. You could have bought it after FTX. That was a good pickup that I think I missed out on. But I was definitely focusing on other. I mean, bond rates were high, so you know, and I got rich. So a high bond rate versus, fourth double dip on Bitcoin. I took the double dip, or I took the bonds and the real estate. But I do think, like I'm saying, if you guys are young and you're like, wow, I want to take risk, raise my future, I want to make 1,000x on my money, 10x on my money, 30,000%. These are some of the gains I have on my Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's like, your best bet is AI at this point. You still have time on that. I think that's where you're going to fuck around, figure something out, create something, and then you already have a huge open. That's how Bitcoin felt back in the day. You have an open source network, you have a bunch of tech people and some smart people working on projects that, if you understand things, bring in new ideas and can put it all together, I mean, yeah, you have, that's your shot to go from 300 to 100,000. You see what I'm saying? But you're not, what are you going to do? If Bitcoin goes 100,000 to 1 million, you 10x your money, I'll give you a fucking option play. That's not something I would be banking on as if it's like good. You know that? Because I even put the tin, and like, what somebody said? They're like, didn't you sell all your crypto in 2021? I did. I sold my YouTube crypto account. Hear me out. This is what I did. Are you ready? Tell me if I'm lying, you could tell me, but you guys watched me. I turned $50,000 into about 500K, right? That was from 2020 to 2021, 2022. And then I took that money and I flipped a home and made $1.6 million in 30 days. So 50 to 500, and then 500 to 1.6, right? Or it was like 420, 450 was probably the net. I'm saying 500, but like, here's the deal. It's exactly what I told you guys. Because I was like, here's the problem, is that even if I try to like hold it, think about it. I made that in 1 month. I would have made a similar amount if I held my account to this day, but that would have taken me 4 more years. You get what I'm saying? And Bitcoin would have doubled the price that I sold at. It doubled from where I sold it, almost tripled. And I would have broken even on the same play that took me a month. And I got to make all of that up front while other stuff was still moving around. And you had higher rates, almost double where we're at now. I could have just locked it in on a bond at double the price of the profit and still made more money. I made more money in a month than I would have holding for 4 years. You get what I'm saying? That's the problem. That's what I was trying to tell you. We made so much money and we got a good time where 50,000 could have turned into $500,000, but the next 5x, next 3x, that was going to be so much harder. It was better off leveraging it into real estate, making a big bag, and then going from there. I still love crypto. I'm not against it. I'm just saying, this whole year I've been trying to educate people on this monetization stage, and you have to like really figure out what you want out of it. Because I wanted big money, you know, and I wanted to I wanted to turn that into a couple million, and literally I did the right way. But it's like if I held and played, I would have to go through everything, and I would have just spent 4 years of no liquidity tied up in there to get the same return. But I did it at way lower prices. So you might have thought you missed out, but look at the time value. You would have wasted 4 years and it would have been the same amount of money if you played it almost perfectly. So it's just be careful of it and think about your future and what do you really want. You know, if you could align with what you want, and like I'm saying, I think some of you guys are like me when I was younger, because you know you could take risk. You know technology. You know what's happening in the world. AI's right in front of you. It's like I think you could go and put your time and effort in other places. I'm totally fine with having a certain portion in your area that in your portfolio for alternatives. Bitcoin's an alternative. I'm always gonna hold it, but I wouldn't base your future around it. And I don't think at this point, unless you got in cheap and it was able to compound, what are you really trying to do? The next 10x, you need it to go to $1 million from this price practically. So that being said, it's like there's way more things, you know, where it goes from fractions of pennies and $100, $200 to the high thousands. That's where you're going to make that life-changing generational money. And I don't see that there with 10x left pretty much. All right, bro. Happy Euro close. You just ripped. Hi, my name is Wiki Euro close. I didn't use leverage on the Bitcoin, no. We used leverage on the real estate. So yeah, I still have a lot of Bitcoin. That whole YouTube account, we fried it. Well, we turned it into some good shit. I actually still have some money in there, I think, after some of those other fiascos at the beginning of the year. I'm not building any real estate, no. I'm buying and holding. I even want to get rid of some real estate. I just have some that are just annoying to deal with, and then I got to figure out some tax stuff. But then some things I just don't, you know, I made some good amounts on them. I just don't know what I'm going to buy next. That's why I haven't sold them. Because I want to get rid of certain areas. And then some of the areas, like with AI, I was telling you guys at the beginning of the year, it's like a year and a half ago, I was telling you about at least I told Colt Real Estate. I had them go on a hunt for it. I hope they did it. But I'll go look at all those AI areas. They went absolutely apeshit. I got nothing in Houston, though. Thank God. But I want to give it one to a Chad. I'm down to hook up the Chads, and then some of them, bro, I'm pissed. I was gonna hook up Derek with a property, and like I thought there was more equity, so I was like, oh, I could give him 100, 200K off. But then some of these comps have just gotten a lot lower. So there's still good equity, but not enough to give away anymore. Or I could give it to him at my break-even price, but then it's still not as like sweet of a deal. But I do have a couple I want to get rid of. But then again, I need a plan for what I'm gonna buy. Without pumping, there's some crypto projects that are working with large public businesses on cool stuff. Well, thank you for not pumping it. But yeah, if you guys want to pursue those, you can, but in a weird way, like I do think a lot of the young guys, if you're trying to make millions off of your time and effort right now, I just think some of you have the ground floor opportunity in AI, and that's where you're gonna fuck around and find the next Bitcoin. I don't think you're gonna find it in the monetization stage, especially when everyone's very scammy. You guys, you know, I remember I was telling you guys earlier, Chesterton's Law. Are you guys familiar with Chesterton's Law? Do you know what that is? Has anybody ever heard of it? Chesterton's Law? Anybody know? Because it's kind of what we're going up with, what we're dealing with now. You never heard it? I don't know if it's a real law, to be honest, but let me see. Or it's called Chesterton's Fence. Yeah, do you know who this is from? So that's why. Yeah, this is from G.K. Chesterton. I love it. It's beautiful. Let me see if I can find you a visual analogy or an example. So the idea is that you don't take down a fence unless you know the reason why it was put up. So what does that relate to? Exactly. Don't remove a fence until you know why it was built. This is actually comes from G.K. Chesterton. So here's the example. What a dumb fence. What were they thinking? Do you see it? Don't take a fence down unless you know why it was put up. See, there's a damn bull or a rhino. It'll kill him. But that's kind of what we're going through right now. Because it's been 40, this is what I was telling you guys, like 30 years of planting, 40, 50 years. But like, we have so many rules nowadays and like so many things, and we're like, what the fuck? Why do we need that? It's useless, right? Like, go look at the crypto laws. Go look at all the pumping laws. Every law I've told you all about pumping, and it's like, it's so weird. And everyone's like, oh, you don't need it anymore. You don't need it anymore. Why does that law even exist? And then they get rid of the law, and then all of the problems that haven't occurred in 40 years quickly return. That's essentially what it is. And that's what I'm saying, even with like crypto, it's just like, sadly, the culture and all this is like, believe me, man, if we like kind of stuck to like honor and morality in crypto a little bit, I think a lot of these, like, if every project wasn't just extracting and fucking people, I think some of these projects would be so much better, and it would have been way more opportunistic at this point. But there's nothing. You can't. A lot of people have removed a lot of these fences that were in culture and finance and investing, and we thought it was like, oh, this doesn't happen anymore. We don't need it. It's part of the gambling culture. It's part of the predicting markets. All this thing. It has turned. There is a gigantic bull on the other side of that fence that I think is just ravaging, or maybe it was a bear. So, yeah, I like these projects, man. I like the idea of them, but it just, the execution and how it plays out, especially at this stage, it just, like I'm saying, the reality is most of you will probably get scammed at it. And I don't want that to be the reality. Believe me, I shouldn't be. You know, I started this mission even with the cult. I do believe in free, fair markets, and I thought educated participants would have done a lot better. They would have done amazing, and it would have created a good culture where we could embark on the future. And if you had certain elements of, you know, standards, trust, and way to operate, it would have been amazing. But unfortunately, I think we took a lot of fences down because we didn't see we're like, why? Who cares about pumping? Who cares about all these different projects? And before you knew it, it's just like, yeah, on the back end, it's just not materializing well. But that's why for the young guys, I'm telling you, even if you don't know shit about, again, I was an early investor in Bitcoin. I'm not a smart guy, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, I've learned a lot of things, and I've learned how to like code and figure stuff out. But like, I did that back in the day, and it was just knowing what it was. Like, you don't have to be ahead of the curve, man. Just don't be a fool. And that's what I'm saying. If you're young, want to take risk, you're trying to, you know, take advantage of the time we're in now and create something where you could make millions of dollars, where you could, you know, generational wealth. It's going to be an AI at this point, and not the Wall Street AI. Not everybody, you know, maybe you can make a SPAC or something, but then that goes back to the fence. You know, those SPACs fuck things up. That was the fence. Remember, I'd always tell you, I was like, dude, these are very looked down upon for 20, 30 years, and then all of a sudden, everyone started doing it. But like I'm telling you, you'll find your opportunity right now in the stage of AI. You're not at the monetization stage of AI. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. And that's where you could have a real good opportunity. Oh, you vibe code? I can't run anything now without it getting clapped. Oh shit. You made your own little fucking prediction market. Just like that. Senator Graham, Congress is moving on bipartisan Russia sanction bill. I love how we just bounced so quick back up there. So stabilization, look more stable, huh? Yeah, bro, you guys should. You could get, it's so easy, man. That's it. Like, eventually, like, compute and electricity will be your problem that you run into, but a lot of you don't have to be a tech guy to learn AI right now. That's the crazy part. Remember, I said this to you guys a year ago, and then you saw the vibe coding take off, but because it's just true. This is just the truth of it. This is a realistic truth, is that you guys could get involved and start building stuff. That's why people are freaking out about Gemini. The new Gemini that comes out that they're gonna release, you could operate a lot more without any sort of computer science background, which is gonna open up a lot more doors. So yeah, I would play around with a lot of things. Anything you don't know, you ask around. Ask your AI, ask any AI. If you have like a Grok or GPT Pro, the Pro AIs do go a long way when it comes to these tasks, but you can wait too, but I don't like the idea of inaction. But if you do wait, I mean, things are only going to get more accessible. That's what I told y'all, they're building AI for us. That's why, like, I do hope, because my project, like what I want to do, it's going to cost, it could, at worst case scenario, it might cost me $500,000 in just electricity. That's the problem. You could have the server, you could have the data center. It uses power when you operate these tasks. So that's your cost. That's the thing. No, that's at like a huge scale though. I'm trying to do something fucked up. So, but yeah, that's the problem. But I'm sure in a year, the same project I want to do now, in a year that'll go down to 200 grand, 50 grand, maybe 10 grand, you know, because that's what happened. The same things, some of the early stuff that I wanted back then from like a year ago would have cost me 100 grand. I can now replicate it for $3,000. And that's kind of where we're heading. So have ideas and you could start learning some other stuff, but it's just like the longer time goes on at this rate, it's only going to become more accessible and cheaper. So I don't know if that's good or bad. It's kind of deflationary. And China, dude, that's the part people don't get, dude. For real, man, I'm telling you, you know that joke of, you know how we were joking around and we're like, your boy Sam Altman was just probably like drop shipping China AI. Dude, I really think that's true, because you have no idea, dude. That's the part I'm having trouble with right now, because I want to, if I use like Qin, Baba, their model, and I use fucking DeepSeek, dude, it's China. That's my only issue, because I'm like, I'm sure it's fucking coated with spyware, but dog, they're so cheap. So some of these tasks that I'm telling you in training, you could do it now on Qin and Baba's platform for god awfully cheap, dude, comparatively. It's like kind of crazy. Yeah, it's like but then again, I like Baba more so, but I just don't, because the idea is like if you have your own little local network, you have privacy. You guys know that, right? You don't. That's why I want to build my own little data center, because we might need it, but it's just gonna have it's not on the internet. I don't have to go and put all my info, all my data, what I create. It doesn't have to be like tied into any public server. So this would just be all yours. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I would hate if I built, because it's a tenth of the cost if you use Qin or DeepSeek. It really is. But then it's just like, I don't know if I build it on a Chinese infrastructure, it would be, I don't know the risks down the line, or if it could backfire. You can do it. You can make a micro data center it'll cost you like 20 to 50,000, depending on how big, 100K even, but it's doable. The hardware is not the problem now. The problem right now is going to be your electricity cost. Depending on what project you want to do, it's going to require a lot of power. Yeah, DeepSeek constantly trying to find a way back to the motherland from your network. I know, dude. But it's tempting. It's so fucking cheap. That's the mind-blowing part. Like, I'm telling you, bro, it's legitimately 90% cheaper to do anything. Yeah, you could do DeepSeek locally, but it's still like, I don't know. I don't know if it's a fucking Trojan. That's the only issue. But it's tempting, man. It's tempting. I don't know if solar would give us enough power. But yeah, thank God we have the farm. I don't know, the farm might actually, if I don't end up selling it, it just sucks because it's going to take so much infrastructure cost to build and time. But yeah, if we could do it, I mean, that might be the perfect data center. It's just hot though. That's the only issue. The heat is going to cost you more money or slow you down. No, I'm doing that this week though. I got to go through some of the grants for next year, see what we could get. Yeah, even if, as I'm saying, you could have a bunch of solar shit. It just the sun might not be fast enough, or you won't be able to get as much power as you need. It is like miners for Bitcoin, but now you're walking away with something that's just not a crypto. It's a different type of token. But it's much more useful, because if you create the right set of training, output a nice little token that knows what you're doing, that's good. But it just takes a lot to create. But yeah, and now it's not just so you could sell it or conduct a financial transaction. That token might be what helps train something more efficiently. You'll spend $20,000 to create something, and then once it's created, that's why things get cheaper. That's why so all these tokens that get created, if someone does what you need to train and it's already created, now you don't have to spend that money and output and energy creating it all. And then boom, you could just plug it in. But then go back to what we said earlier this morning, you just don't know, you're going to be kind of relying on someone else's infrastructure, depending on digital, depending on what you want to do. Cigna's going up. Atlanta Fed GDP now 4.1 versus -4 previously? Huh? Did GDP just rip? But that's why, think about this arms race for AI. Whoever could create this stuff now on their own training, they have the power, all that. If they keep it to themselves, they'll have something that'll be harder for people to get, but eventually it's going to be cheap for everybody. You see what I'm saying? Eventually you'll be able, the power cost, all of that, it's going to go down, but then you're not going to have the same, info or training that the people who did it now have. So that could either backfire for them in R&D, or it could end up benefiting them, or you'll have a nice competitive advantage. Well, it's either the energy solution or just, like I'm saying, in 5 years, the same things that cost a lot of money right now, it's going to go a lot lower. So then that'll solve the problem. But then you might be able to do it now for cheaper, but then the people who already had it for the last 5 years, they'll be able to benefit off of it and use it because they spent the early capital cost. But some of them are gambles, People are going to spend a lot of money to train these separate private models for themselves, and that's what these companies are doing. But then some of it's going to be very worth the money, and then a lot of them are gonna still, it won't be as much because now everybody could create it, but then for a fraction of the cost, and then it's not, if it didn't give them a real competitive advantage in that time, it doesn't hit the same. T-Mobile and Nucor. I mean, you could play around with fucking, you could play around with DeepSeek. I just wouldn't build anything crazy off of it. I don't know. I want to. I'm considering it. That's what I'm saying. Or Qin. It's just cheap, dude. I love China for the cheapness. It reminds me of back in the day. It reminds me of like buying shit off of it reminds me of buying shit off of like Alibaba in like early pre-2010. I don't know how to describe it. It's a risk. It's different. Most people don't know how, but yeah, I wouldn't want to build my baby on it, but I would you could definitely use it. That's why a lot of high-profile tech engineers leave. That's part of it. And, I mean, people are just disagreeing in where it's going to go. So, like, it's just straight up, that's what go look up World Model. That's the latest who did it. The guy, and then SPY's going up, bro. This is Euro closed 20 minutes ago, but you had dump, lose stabilization, and then boom, that's a 0.5% move bottom to top. Hi. Google, Netflix, everything's kind of waking up right now. But yeah, go look up the World Model. It's just some people, because I kind of agree with this. I do think that like LLMs are already outdated. I think even in the next year, they're useful. It's just for the tokens that you generate. That's all people care about. The training, and once you figure out a really good training system or one part of memory or any sort of information link, it goes a really, really long way. But it's not going to be just chatbots. Chatbots are not like, yeah, there's a limit to it. But like, what's his name? Jan? I don't know. Let me find his name. What was the dude's name? It's like Yao something. Jan LeCun. That's who it is. And they paid him like $1 billion or something. The World Models. So how does he describe it? Is this him? I thought he was an Asian dude. He's a white guy. Yeah, he says he called LLMs a dead end to reaching human-like AI, instead advocating for systems that could perceive their environments and grasp physical concepts such as gravity. So, yeah, Fei Li has raised 230. Yeah, world models, not LLMs, are the key to developing AI that could reason, plan complex actions, and make predictions. We're not going to get human-level AI by training on text, said the researcher during a Harvard talk. But yeah, that's the idea. It's just like LLMs are going to take us there, and I think they're necessary, like training with text and words. And remember, like I told you, natural language. Once you have natural language development, that's going to be awesome. But he's right. The next level is going to be, a computer and these AIs understanding gravity, being able to think and reason in that step. So you get what I'm saying? Yeah, that's exactly. It's the next step towards AGI. And it's like, you just can't get there on text, which I kind of agree with, because you're spending a lot of money now and doing all this other stuff to get these training models and tokens that are really advanced, and they could be very great, but there's going to be that missing piece, or that's really the next step. It's going to be a hybrid. It's going to be these world models mixed in with text and language models, and the output will be using natural language, but then using natural language and being able to understand like physics and the world, just like actually the world and how we view it and see it. That's why they're tokenizing videos. Yeah, that'll be part of it. But that's why we need the LLMs now. That's why you need it now to start training it, because without it, you wouldn't be able to even have this talk. So, but he is right it's a dead end. I think that's what he said. Not outdated, a dead end. There is going to be a point where you take it really, really far with training and these tokens and just language, but then you're going to need something else at the end of it. I guess it is book smart versus street smart, just AI edition. That's really funny. That's a great comment. Oh, and did you guys see the other one I posted? I'm pretty sure I figured out how I think I found a scam on eBay. I think this is how China is like manipulating shit. This is how they're getting their Blackwells, like the crazy ones. Because I was looking for like just crazy network computers. I just wanted to see. And then I found this one. It's listed buy it now for $4. And it's a crazy setup. It's worth $500,000. But you could buy it on eBay for $4. Yeah, it's on eBay. $4. Ships out of the Cayman Islands. Right? But then you get to the description, price is $420,000. No, I think you could buy it, list the eBay purchase as super cheap, and then they probably pay them in crypto or something on the side, and then they ship it. But then it's all documented under a $4 purchase. There's a bunch of these. Because I was like, why the fuck are these on eBay? That's what I was saying. I was looking up these Blackwell chips, and I was just seeing, I was like, no fucking way you could buy that. You could buy the cheap one for like 40 grand or 80 grand, but that's the cheap one. But it's like, yeah, I think that's one of the scams to circumvent some of the export stuff. I don't know. I didn't buy it. So, I'm just guessing, but it was odd because that did come up a couple of times. I don't know. I wouldn't. So somebody said to do like crypto mining and like use the heat and energy, but no, I wouldn't. I would put all my power towards AI. I need it. So that's the downside. So it's like, it's not, that's what I was trying to tell y'all. It's like crypto is going to compete with AI for power. Because if you created the same setup for a data center and energy and all this other stuff, it's like I would not use any of it towards mining crypto. You could, but you would be better off, generating tokens that'll help you, train whatever you're looking to do. All right, bro, you're right back up too. So good talks today. I hope you guys enjoyed them. I know this is related to the biggest part of the market right now and the thing keeping us up, but yeah, it's not too ticker related, more or less. Damn, son, where'd you find this? CCP Cayman computer procurement? I think it is, bro. Are unlikely to be legitimate? Of scams, unrealistic specifications, new seller accounts, and minimal history associated with fraudulent operations. How would you make money on that? Well, it just depends what you're creating. You could rent the servers to people, and if someone needs that power, they would come to you. Or if you have a project that would be worth it, then yeah, it would probably be for yourself. I mean, that's at least my goal. So my goal is making money off of what the output is. I'm not selling the data or the power. I'm actually that's what I'm saying. I would need to use it for my purpose. Oh, a crazy rip considering how he just bloop, 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 and then right away. And then it is 30 minutes after Euro close. All right, yeah, we should have done push-ups. We just kept nerding out, bro. Stand up. Dude, I found a new stretch, bro. Oh, let me see if I can find it for you guys. You could use a medicine ball or your chair, and you lay down on the floor, and then you straight leg, and then you just kick the chair or the medicine ball up and down. Dude, it's so good for your lower back. So if you got that tight lower back, you got to do straight leg kicks. But it has to have a rhythm. Where do you get data? You either have your own data that you input or you train it. You get training. There's a lot of open source stuff. And then that would be the idea. You could create your own data if you could teach the AI to do something. You create your own LLM instead of using ChatGPT. ChatGPT could probably help you, but then you create your own data set. You tell it to learn things and say, do this, do this, go from here, and then that would generate something, and then you just keep building off of that. Eli Lilly ripping, they were down earlier. All right, I gotta start. Do you guys want to hear it? I don't know. Let me see if I can find you the video. A oral spray peptide? What? I haven't heard of that. Let's see. Oh, come on. Oh, that's a good one. Come on. Where did I find that video? I think it was on my Instagram. But yeah, I use my chair instead of a medicine ball. But yeah. It's a new one. I haven't done any. I haven't tried any peptides. Still. I wanted to, but that whole injection thing, dog, was, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't find it. But yeah, man, stand up, do a push-up. Spy's pushing up, man. That's it, ready to go.
Minutes ago. We've rallied 50 handles in the last 45 minutes. And it's because of Alphabet. It's because of technology. It's because of the SMH and the mega caps. And I think that's why you don't want to get too bearish here. Maybe you don't get an extension of the momentum trade, the aggressive nature of it that we've seen the last 3 months. That makes sense with the jobs report, with NVIDIA coming. But I think this is evidence of just kind of stay even-keeled, stay with the technology positions. They're working. And I like what the team here at Berkshire is doing.
Yeah, yes, Shen. Last week was definitely more volatile than we had seen of late. Tony Pescarello at Goldman says his baseline view is still net positive. I'm not convinced this is the start of something rotten, in part because capital flows continue to go towards tech. Yes, I know the market has broadened out more, but the capex from tech is enough in many people's eyes to keep this thing going for a while. You don't need to hit
don't hurt
Alphabet
yourself
specifically, but we're on the cusp of what is a very big week with NVIDIA reporting midweek. Many of these stocks are off double digits from their 52-week highs.
I gotta find
so
the
there's
video.
A lot to
you
lay
down
this week on how these
put
things
one
perform
leg and keep the one leg like fully extended, the other leg's fully extended, and then you just like bicycle kick it.
And I think if you were concerned potentially over the last couple of weeks and waiting for that next shoe drop in terms of opportunity, I think NVIDIA is likely to give you that catalyst to get a little bit more comfortable. I think the challenge here for investors is that every time we get some weakness in these stocks, Scott, the valuations look a little less stretched. They look a little bit better. And the idea that we have to base the potential unwind of the AI trade on all of the more speculative names within the universe, I think that there is something to be said for that. I think that at this juncture, what you're really looking at is where is the CapEx going to be monetized? Are these companies going to continue to drive what is essentially going to be a continued multi-year thematic tailwind? And if you're going to be in this space, Scott, I think you want to be in these higher quality names. And so therefore, even if we get a little bit of potential pressure or tension over the next few weeks on some of the speculative names, I still think people are going to use any excuse in this environment whenever these sell off to potentially add to positioning.
It's too soon. It's too soon to know whether you're overbuilding or overspending, and you're not going to have the answers to those questions for probably, we're talking years, not months. Like, you're laying down the railroad. Are we laying down too much railroad track? Well, I don't know. We're going to lay it down and see what happens in the country. Are we laying down too much fiber and the whole internet blowout? I don't know. Did you know that in '96? No. Did you figure it in 2000? Yeah. All right. So where are we in that cycle now? A lot of people are talking about it. The Journal goes in today big time on the AI trade and the data center build out. I hope everybody read the piece because it was a pretty substantial piece. Oracle's role in it, private equity's role in financing it, some of the circularity and the deals around it. So yeah, we're all talking about it, we're all thinking about it, but maybe people are worried about it too much.
Yeah, and I think they are, and that's to Shannon's point. The high quality companies that have the cash flow funding it are where we think you want to be in. Because if you are saying we're going to pull back at some point, those companies still have enough cash flow to move forward and reinvest in their businesses. Where it gets a little hairy is, like you said, some of these off-balance sheet vehicles starting to show up. Is it negative cash flow? Are we really producing enough to cover the costs? That's kind of that 8th, 9th inning on some of these companies. But
well, what do you mean 8th, 9th inning on some of these companies? What does that mean? You make a statement like that, you got to back it up. What do you mean?
Well, meaning if they don't, so take Oracle, which I like, okay, but if Oracle does not show positive cash flow in a couple of years and is now going back to the debt markets again in 2029 and 30,
or I mean, Sarat, how can we possibly? It's 2025.
Scott, what I'm saying is you have to bifurcate the two stocks. I'm not saying I'm selling. I own Oracle.
No, I know, but I mean, if you're talking about, well, let's see how things pan out in 2029, how does that help an investor today, including yourself?
I said, be careful that you don't have all your eggs in one basket. Stay with the Googles and the other ones that have true cash flow. When you were in the Oracles, you know that's a little more speculative.
You care about any of the companies that you own that are raising debt. Amazon, for example, $12 billion from a bond sale. It's their first such in U.S. dollars in about 3 years. You own the stock. You care?
Not with Amazon, not with Google. I don't. Because I think they have enough cash flow going forward and they can actually see. And actually, NVIDIA is going to be interesting Wednesday because they're going to actually say who's still buying and who's not. And if their growth is still going, then you know that these companies are still buying to grow.
So they don't even have to tell us who's buying and who's not. The hyperscalers have already told us.
Agreed. But what I'm saying is they're just going to reconfirm, and that's what the market's going to look for.
What do you think?
So, look, NVIDIA, we know what they're going to tell us, what Jensen Huang's told us every quarter. AI spending is growing. It's going to continue to grow. So there's going to be nothing new out there. In terms of when I take a look, and I'm not positive in Oracle because of their cash flow situation and their borrowing, and we don't know if they will get a return on it. But if you take a look at Meta, which has been the most maligned, stock's down over 20% in a bear market for the stock. So let's just scenario play. If they don't benefit from AI, if they're spending too much, what does it matter right now? Earnings because of CapEx are at a low.
That's
and
why
I'm agreeing with you.
That's
right.
sort of the overarching point.
Exactly.
It's too soon to know.
Well, it's too soon to know, and it doesn't really, if you step back, it's going to be somewhat controversial. It doesn't matter, because if they're spending too much, they'll put the brakes on the spending and earnings go up. Right now, what I've got, even with that CapEx spending, I've got a company selling, depending upon the estimate, that's valued at between 18 to 20 times earnings. So I'm very positive on it. I think it's a great buying opportunity here. And the trick is you can't wait to spend. That's the thing. So this is more than an insurance policy. If you wait till all the use cases come to effect, then you're late and you're out of the market.
The CEOs have already voted. They have voted with their dollars, and they know that they are willing. Right. Well, I mean, if theoretically,
you have to have faith that they know what they're doing.
But you always do. You had faith in 06 and 07.
Why don't y'all got faith?
Everybody knew what they were doing. Until the party came to an end, the House of Cards came down, and it turned out everybody didn't really know what they were doing.
But this is a little different because they're product companies, not financial companies, number one. And number two, not that mortgages aren't products, but these are products that are driving revenue now, and what they're spending will increase that revenue dramatically. And they are developing the use cases.
Sure, but it's one thing when you are taking your mountains of cash and you're deploying it. It's another thing when you start raising piles of debt.
It's different, though.
However, but you're not raising piles of debt on a relative basis. With Oracle, you are, but you're not with Amazon. You're not with Alphabet. You're not with Meta. These are odd lots. They sound like big numbers, 12 billion big numbers, but the cash flow generation is monstrous. The levers they can pull are significant.
As simply as you could state it, it's investment-grade paper in the case of Alphabet, in the case of Amazon, in the case of Meta. In the case of Oracle, it's high-yield paper. It's 550% debt to equity. Amazon, a 40-year offering, which is the longest duration on this $12 billion proposed sale, you're talking about 115 basis points over treasuries. It's going to be remarkably strong demand for that. Now, I'm long Oracle via the Joe T. I'm not happy about it. Because to your point, I don't like what Oracle's doing because I don't like their debt position. And a lot of people have been long Oracle based on momentum. We'll deal with it at the next upcoming rebalance. But that's the one name. I don't think you universally say, just because we see all this debt issuance, it's a problem.
No, but you have a tremendous amount of volume, or certainly a dramatic pickup in volume of credit default swaps, certainly some tied to Oracle. As people, according to one article I read, our traders are searching for cover because they are concerned. HSBC, big tech debt is the new canary in the coal mine. As it relates to NVIDIA, Goldman today says NVIDIA earnings could set off another tech-led pullback. Any weakness in revenues or margins is likely to generate a setback in that space. We still have, you may not have the ultimate answer about whether the hundreds of billions you're laying out are going to come to reward you, and you may not get the answers for a while, but there are nearer term things that you need to see. Whatever pickup in revenues, you want to protect your margins. That's why NVIDIA, when we think we know a lot, we still need to see what they say.
Yeah, I think the challenge here is that NVIDIA is both a beneficiary from this trade, but also a key cog in this trade. And so therefore, any sense of weakness in terms of NVIDIA's results are going to very materially spread through the rest of this ecosystem. We talked about vendor financing. You've mentioned it, Scott. You talk about the credit market. I think that what NVIDIA's earnings are likely to do, if they come even close to expectations, are likely to provide that foundation. But I don't think it necessarily alleviates some of these credit concerns. I think it merely kicks the can down the road a little bit on the equity side. I still think that going into 2026, you're going to continue to get some questions about the quality of the credit universe around technology because you haven't had to ask those questions at all. And I think that that's an important piece, is that NVIDIA will help steady this equity trade and likely catalyze some continued buying into the end of the year. But I think into 2026, we're going to be talking about this a lot more on the credit side than we are on the equity side.
NVIDIA is going to be so interesting, right? Because they are going to have a good quarter. That's never the question. Each of the last few quarters they've had, they've missed the whisper number. And So is the market going to make a stand and sell tech if they miss the whisper number, but yet earnings are still growing at 60% and they're all sold out for the next year or so? That's the weird thing about the market. And that's why it's critical if you're a long-term holder not to get shaken out because NVIDIA trades
and
down.
what you're seeing in the stock, I mean, it's off 210. So you're already down about 10% going into
everything went up
everything,
on the OpenAI.
But what's interesting is sometimes when they run up before, then you have to be a little more, even more cautious.
Yep.
There is the issue of, and you're going to hear more about it because some of the biggest voices around the overstating earnings and depreciation issue, like Michael Burry's back again, and he's been on a nonstop storm of social media posts where he shows again a chart of CapEx and depreciation, and he has already teased November 25th. Something's coming down. Something's going down on November 25th. Is this issue to you much ado about nothing or what?
It's much ado about nothing.
Chanos is talking about it too.
So you've got two short sellers looking at. Chanos is talking. I think he's really exclusively on
CoreWeave. On CoreWeave.
Oh, CoreWeave. Sorry, CoreWeave. CoreWeave. I don't understand why it went up. You know, when right immediately pre-IPO, they had one customer. It's all debt. I've looked at shorting it, but I just don't short really anymore because that is built on debt. That's a mountain of debt.
I understand, like, when you say, well, it's two short sellers, but if you do recall, there was a guy named David Einhorn who was asking some of the earliest questions about one of the investment banks.
I'm not dismissing.
You know what I'm saying? That ended up being the canary in the coal mine.
I'm not dismissing them. All I'm saying is what they're hanging on is not what I believe is critical to the performance of the shares, because these are two massive companies that generate. You've got to look at their coverage ratios, and their coverage ratios are coverage ratios that any company on the face of this earth would want to have. They're just monstrous. So until those coverage ratios fall down, until they go into junk status like Oracle, then I just don't. I think it's much about nothing. In terms of depreciation is a definite byline of what shorts look at. They're saying too much because it's accounting. So look, I just don't think there's really any there. You know, so.
Well,
that's just my view.
There's a stock that's
broadly on CoreWeave. There is an Oracle. Yeah, I could see that, but on the others, no, I don't think so.
There is news today on another name we've certainly talked about from time to time. It is a Morgan Stanley call on Dell. They've double downgraded that name. You don't get double downgrades all that often. Usually, you don't get downgrades to sell very often, but you did. 110 is the new target from 144.
I don't know. I liked our AI
talk. The memory quote super cycle increasingly poses a downside
like a big
risk
gap
to hardware
between
earnings heading
how
into
Wall Street talks about AI and then like
stock,
what's happening with AI.
We wanted to come on and talk about
this. They just keep talking about
obvious reasons. What do you think about this double downgrade?
The debt.
I mean, a double downgrade. I mean, I double dare them to
It doesn't
upgrade.
explain why.
So,
I hope hope some of you were listening to that conversation we just had.
So for the viewers that don't have access to the report, in summary is this. Is memory chips, memory is increasing exponentially. And they have a chart in there that shows that DRAM, and there's a specific DRAM called DDR5, is up over 200%, 260% in the last 2 months. And so that is for a variety of reasons, but you're seeing memory prices, outperforming gold. And so I think that for these companies like Dell with their PCs, Acer was in the report, HP was in the report, specifically think about laptops and PCs. I mean, this is in the crosshairs of that. And so they're saying in the short term, we think they're going to have margin compression. That seems very likely looking at the dramatic increase in these DRAM prices and memory prices. I think that
918, you're back to the opening, only 0.03, had a baby gap down, but doesn't look too bad. I mean, bonds got a bid. No real volatility in bonds. Remember, Friday was pretty active, but I don't think that materialized. Move. Get out the way. Get out the way. Oh no, bonds out. I'm gonna knock your yields out. I couldn't find you guys the video too. I'm sorry. But I do hope you moved around and take care of your body, baby. It's good for you guys. You know that? Just basic things for the body. Basic movement, bro. Goes a long way. Long-term stocks hold 10. Yeah, Kenview started moving up. SPY. There's a couple of little poppers. But other than that, man, I think I don't think too much. As long as we could hold stabilization, really the action happens in the middle of the week. But at least you're not getting the same panic. And then before you know it, everyone's going to start getting ready for, what's it called? The setup for earnings. So keep that in mind. You got NVIDIA. That's the big one this week. And then all the other retail players. They mentioned debt, no utility. Yeah, I mean, everyone's just looking at it like, everyone's like viewing AI like, and this is how Wall Street talks about it. It's about this whole like, oh, when are you going to make money off of it, right? And that's where the debt conversation comes in. But like, it's not about like make a chatbot and your chatbot makes you money. It's about these models that they're creating and then what it's going to be used for. Because eventually the price of everything's going to come down. But then those who use it right now and get a lead on what they create, that's going to be the deciding factor on what actually becomes profitable or not. But yeah, there's just, and then again, you know, some people are talking about the next step from here. And the next step is not really, Wall Street's not really concerned with it. And most people think the money is being made through, you know, companies buying, you sell the data, you sell the chips, everything else. But then, like I've also talked about, you know, eventually Wall Street is going to be aware of like what's actually going on in terms of, it's not your clients aren't all just, it's not business to business. It's essentially, there is going to be business to consumer, but then what those consumers create might very well rival some of the companies. Or that could change some of this value proposition. Okay. Added to the long term. It's good. That's borderline. I'm glad you didn't post the ticker, but that's good, man. Remember, you guys, the more you take pride in it in and of itself, the better. You know, you don't need to celebrate what you're supposed to be doing. You know, that's like me telling y'all, I didn't beat my wife today. That's amazing. Congratulations. It's like you weren't supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do a bunch of heroin today. That's awesome. So, you know, all of you should be saving 10% and adding, and you will reach the next level when you don't have to discuss it. I promise you that. It's a secret unlock. But congratulations. AJG. Gallagher, Frank Gallagher. Like that. Tell the people that feel water is bad. Open door to scale housing portfolio to spur growth. Nice. I can't, bro. If they start buying cribs, oh man, that'll be your guys' exit. If Open Door will give you way more than what you paid, that's always a fun time. Fresh like, long time, $9.23. Still early. It's early. The sun stayed out today too. I don't know. I'm kind of getting used to daylight savings. But like, dude, it gets dark at 5. I thought it was like midnight yesterday, and it was 5 p.m. Terrible. From the long dam to the savings to the oceans filled with stocks. Way to downplay your 2 biggest accomplishments: no wife beating and no heroin use. Oh, it's all right. My bad, man. I didn't mean to. But you know, that's good. I think that's like one of the best Chris Rock jokes back in the day. But yeah, I think it applies. I don't think Jesus said that, but you know, well, I think y'all get the concept. I think it's understandable. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to see this. So did you try this the oral peptide? That's crazy. I'm kind of down to try it, bro. Well, Chad just sent me one. On FND? No, I don't think so. On Japan's 10-year not being at 0. That's where I still think, I think that's kind of the elephant in the room, is that this whole, like, Japan rates, I mean, their economy's not picking up. And, like, I mean, look at what's going on globally. But, yeah, I do think that's kind of where everything's playing out. Pinkberry. Explore sale. MTY Foods hires to bank to run process. Dog, we were just talking about Pinkberry. They're going to sell Pinkberry. I don't know if they're public. MTY Foods. Oh, they are. MTYFF. Literally, it's up 5% on 80 shares. Nobody trades this shit. Very illiquid, but that's the parent company who owns it. MTY. MTYFF. What's the downside? I don't know. I think the downside is it like fries your whole insides, or just I've heard though anything oral with peptides doesn't work as good. So it might just not really. You might just spend a lot of money to not have it work as good. How long have you been doing it for? I feel like spray would because it could absorb differently. .5 on the capsules as it had noticeable impact. I mean, shit, dude, I be taking vitamins. I need to go get it. I got a black seed gummy. But yeah, like even the vitamins, eventually you'll get a nice effect off them. Oh, yeah. Luke 17. Yeah, he didn't say, oh, you meant like you want a cookie, right? I was like, I don't think Jesus ever mentioned like a sweet treat. But yeah, I feel. By which of you, having a servant plowing or feeding cattle, will say unto him and by, when he's come from the field, go and sit down to meat. Will you meet me? Have any of you tried it yet? Have any of you tried the Will You Meet Me this weekend? I saw a lot of videos. I think it's funny, man. Bill Ackman. Good benefits. Better than getting ablation. I'm gonna look into it, bro. It looks cool. BPC nasal spray. Oh, you've been doing that for 2 years? How is it? How does that work? He was saying the oral spray. But that's why I never really thought about it. Oral spray is brand new. Yeah, he said nasal spray. I didn't even know this shit existed. I knew there was capsules. I didn't really think there was sprays. I wanted it so bad, bro, but then the needles scared me. They also scared me away from heroin too, so, you know, it's a blessing and a curse. UK moles retaliation against Europe over steel tariffs. They were talking shit this morning. They told Lutnick he better not change it. Everybody in the CNC. It didn't do anything, made you a little less sore. Off the oral one or like the vitamins? Or did you inject it? Because everybody who injects it, they love it, bro. Yeah, they're big fans. Injection is better. I don't like needles. It takes about 2 weeks to get the effects going. But it works. So it works. I thought it was like just pseudo. I thought it was like all in your head if it was like non-injected. Yeah, we'll see. I can't wait till we see the wave of companies. You know, we were talking all the other drugs and healthcare stuff and then gene editing, but that is in the next 5-10 years. Depending on how it develops, you're going to get, you know, all these peptides are getting very popular. Even then, like Retrutide, one of the little GLPs, it's a peptide. It's the same exact thing. That's what most people don't realize. And when I found that, I was tripping. That's like, it's already there. Oh, did you guys see this? Look at this one. So you guys know how every time we like tag YouTube and then you guys are like, I paid $50. It doesn't notify me. And then they hit you with the same exact response. That's why even if you guys are like ever try to reach out to YouTube, they got caught. Look. Heard back, converting the video will remain down for insert termination reason and link specify policy to help video. It's all a bot. Ah! Yeah, bro, they got caught. That's why they'd always hit no matter what. Just the same response. And you're like, oh my gosh. Have you tried this? Insert help link video. Vitamins is good, man. Get you some nutrition. Because, like, if you don't eat, like, balanced meals, you need the vitamins. Otherwise, you'll melt. AEO trying again. A couple of small caps. I mean, look at the high ticker. It's pretty active, but it's just not your Mag 7. Then you still got that weird Google dynamic today. But yeah, EcoH is right at open. SPY's right at open. I mean, if it closes green, good. As long as the vibe is stabilization this week, people will like it. But if it gets bad, people will panic. If it gets good, people will start to get bubbly. But, you know, even good is pretty much a sign of stabilizing after the last week or two. The first Pfizer dividend payments. Oh, nice. Dude, I can't wait to... It's going to be one to watch for next year. I mean, a lot of inflows came into to healthcare, the most since 2021. We talked about that in the morning. But then the other part is going to be Pfizer's. I'm pretty sure they haven't guaranteed it, but I'm pretty sure they're going to start unleashing the buybacks. Because Pfizer hasn't had buybacks in like 2 years. LYV, what's that? They just tweaked. And then XBI going, and then Expedia on the low. Yo, check Expedia. Oh, I missed that because my thing was scrolled up. And booking. Something's going on with travel, boys. That's expensive, Habibi. Alright, I got a decent one. Here, I'll tell you. I don't know what it is, but I only reacted because booking's going down too. Yeah, just be careful on the time. Expedia.com. A lot of them don't have bids. What is that, bro? They're down 2.6, and then even now Airbnb as well. Amazon, no. Yeah, something's happening in travel. I don't know what it is. Yeah, but literally, Expedia is down 3, Booking and Airbnb. Something's happening in travel land. No headline yet. Did you guys see anything on this one? And no, see, still going. And now Lyft too. Watch if Uber and Lyft start going down. It's gonna be a little broader. Uber kind of. Like those already almost had 100% on those. It's just fat spread, but now they got bids. Booking. Nothing. Merck and FedEx on the high. Still going lower. Again, big volume. Nothing yet. All the premiums are climbing. I don't see anything. Yeah, and then the Amazon bond auction. That did good. Let's see. It could either be a dud or you're going to hear something. But again, some of them already just moved 3. You got blocked on Twitter? Oh, damn. Now I have to block you on here. So yeah, don't tell me that. Just, I don't know who needs to know that, but... So that's going to be part of it. The thing I have with the AI, like, I hope you guys know I'm turning into China. So I have a social credit score on all of you, which is going to be very good, though. Because then for those of you who want more free stuff and you want to go back to the good old days, we will. You're just going to need a high social credit score. So if you don't have that, unfortunately, you have just X'd out all of your benefits in the chat. That's why I've told you to stop wasting your time. No, it's for real, though. That's what I'm saying. And then those of you who have just, I encourage you to remain patient with me. But, yeah, you're going to have, I'll have everything for you. You guys will have a lot of good benefits, but you need to be a real Chad. So... if you can't lock in and pay attention, that's fine, but a lot is expected so that we could get back to the good old days. But yeah, I already got a little one. That's the thing that'll it'll cost me too much money to have that. It's not worth it, but you know, down the line, we'll be able to, I could compile what I already have. So yeah, don't, if you're getting banned and blocked, I would try not to tell me, but it will eventually come up. So yeah, your best bet is following all the rules and regulations here. Could be something with Google and booking. Well, it's circulating and now they're bouncing because the crowd, nobody knows what it is. Oh, it could be one of those events, dog. You have a social credit score, 100%. You guys already have one, but now the AI gets deeper, where I could connect. Yeah, all the fucking. Oh fuck yeah, banger. Oh, an extra minute early is so many percentage points, you guys. Thank you. I don't know what it was though. I'm looking at the events. I don't see any. It has to be one of them. It's either booking, Airbnb, but there's no headline. I'm checking all of them to see which ones are at the event, but I don't see anybody yet. It started with Expedia and then booking. But yeah, people are circulating just the movement of it, but they're pumping it for us. But yeah, there's still no headline. So keep in mind, it could be a dud. I wouldn't buy more if you haven't. It's whatever's going on with this trippy. But yeah, they're up over 100. I don't know if it'll fill yet though. I'm gonna wait. Oh yeah, Carrie was getting clapped earlier. Oh, I don't know if it is that. Well, yeah, I already have that background. I already have a lot of data just on chat and on my other socials. But it will cost too much to get effective training, and I can't find another cheaper model to import it off of. So we'll see, but down the line. But yeah, I mean, what you can will be said. What you say can and will be used against you in the court of Colt. So I encourage you to be the best you could possibly be. I mean, especially if you're gonna want access to like good free assistance. That's really what it is, or even other beneficial stuff like real time and all that. Lead. I saw that one. I mean, ask him the lowest he wants or best deal we give for like people in that situation. We could buy and pay it for him now, and then he could just live in it until he's ready to go. And then we could offer him, but he'd have to give it to us at a low price if he's really. And then again, the market's a lot slower, so if he's really down to hook us up on the deal, he could stay there for as long as he wants. Or tell him, I don't know, ask him if he wants a reverse mortgage, to be honest. Because if he's old enough and he qualifies, he has good equity, if he gets that thing appraised with what he bought it at, he already has 60% equity. He could go and keep it and live there for free. J&J ripping. Sats on the high too. Oh no, weird set of travel names went down, but there's still not anything. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I saw my long turn today. Alright, they all bounce. There's nothing. You can get out of them if you want. Just all depends which ones you got. Like I said, the time, depending on how you play the time, it was better. LYVEWU UK to ban resale of tickets above face value. Is that why we had that candle? Yeah, that was earlier. I thought it was just a glitch, and then it kept going. Good follow-up on that. Yeah, EWU and then LYV. The UK is banning resale of tickets above face value. And then SPY's coming down, too. I want it long trade. I remember it took a fat ass candle. I thought it was a glitch. It just came back up.
I'm Batman, Michael Burry, Unchained. I save Gotham.
The fuck? Alrighty. Back. Remember, it's done this 2 times already. Or I guess you only had one way up. Now you had one down, one up, and then we're coming back down. I just watched gold, dollar, Bitcoin. I mean, really, Bitcoin is into the lows. That's kind of been the little risk on, risk off thing we've been dealing with. So we'll see. Oh, StubHub, duh. Yeah, they all did. StubHub had, was it bad earnings? I think it was bad earnings today or on Friday when they got clapped, but yeah. MSTR is even down. But yeah, just watch all those. Psycho on the high, PCYO. Isn't that Psycho? Pure Psycho. Oh, okay. Michael Burry's Batman is Sam Altman the Joker. I don't even know who Sam Altman is. Sam Altman is interesting fella. I mean, it's like smaller and faster, but it's smaller. So it feels like the other days, but just way tinier. Because again, this isn't compared to what we dealt with Friday and even last week, this is nothing. But it's interesting how it's playing out. Dash had that data breach news, but came right back up. Google launches new AI search features for travel. That could be it. But I think that's old. Remember we saw that last week? But yeah. None of those have hit any wires yet. I think that's from the terminal. Yeah, are you getting that one too? I remember we saw that last week though, didn't we not? Oh, if it ties into Gemini though, that might be the kicker. But even then, Google's coming down. So yeah, there's some update on that. I think Burry's making his own. He's gonna make his own. Nice. All right, I got out at 200% on the Expedia. I got one left. I put a high limit in and it filled. Yeah, and FedEx. If you guys still have those from last week, that was a small hitter. It's still up on the free one. Want it that way. So I think it is that Google news hitting. Bitcoin approaching 90,000. How will we recover? I said I'm sorry long term. I never meant to hurt you. I never said to sell long term, but tonight I'm cleaning out my long term. One more time. I said I'm sorry long term. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to buy at the highs, but tonight I'm cleaning out my short term. One more time. It's a classic. All right, well, at least we got one little baby hitter. I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, they're above now, a couple 100%. I'm gonna hold the last one, but yeah, make it free and ride, but that hasn't hit like TV and shit yet. But again, it was weird how it circulated and played out. So just be mindful. Yeah, the AI, that's what we saw a little bit earlier. That's what I'm saying. Just a couple, I thought it was an older headline, but it seems like that's the one going around. We caught the first move within the first like 10, 20 minutes. But yeah, there's nothing else. You a play. That's that. One God, one King, one way. That's that. Sovereign, supreme. What you know about that? One thing before you leave, please don't come back. So I have bad news, Chad. I think we're gonna have to cancel Philo for the rest of the year. Not okay. So yeah, if you guys want to join Philo, I will. Yeah, just making sure. You know, just mixing it up a little bit. It's okay. You'll be fine. Yeah, not very nice. I have the first half, like how you play, huh? Damn, son. I'm sorry. I was talking to the homie and he reminded me of Borat. He was reminding me of Borat, and I don't know, man. I love the original Borat. I love it. That's what I used to do when I was younger. I would go and tell people shit, and then I go, not! And I would yell it out like Borat. It was a good time, I'm telling you. It was a very good time. But yeah, we are going to have Philo. Sorry to disappoint or excite some of you. But if you would like to join, I would love for you to be there. It's free to join. All you got to do is click on the link. You could listen, and hopefully it changes your life. But yeah, don't go if you don't want it. Don't go if you don't want to be there. But I have a good one today. I think all of you are interested, to be honest. That's what I found out. I think last night, I think a lot of people are interested. So I don't know. Maybe you want to hear about it. Maybe you want to hear about some drama. If you like drama, you might like Philo. But other than that, I have a good one. I have a good lesson. A lot of good things to talk about with life. So if you want to be there, be there. But if you don't, like I'm saying, it doesn't matter how good the content is. It doesn't matter how good I say it. None of it. It just, if you don't want it, you're gonna despise it. That's just how life works. Even if it's shitty and you want it, you're gonna love it. That's how it works. I don't make this up. Bitcoin at 92,000, lowest since April 24th. All right, so here it is. That's the link. Great success, very nice. So yeah. Damn, he said good idea. He said good idea to fucking no philo. That's what sucked. He fell for it, bro. He fell for it. That's terrible. All right, well, I love you. Some of you. But most of you, I'd say, is a good way to put it at this point. But I'll see you there. If you don't want to join, do your thing. But yeah, God bless America. Peace.